So let's see if this thing's going to come. It says you're live. Really? Seems to think we are.
Not out in YouTube land, it isn't. Not yet, anyway.
I'm getting the advert.
Here we are, just have now,
So
yeah.
let's see if this thing's going to come. It
There's
says you're
always been a
live.
delay.
Really? Wait a minute. Seems to think
Yeah,
we are.
indeed, yeah. It's live out in
Not
YouTube,
out in
YouTube land, it isn't. Not yet, anyway.
I'm getting the advert.
Here we are, just
I don't
have
get
now, yeah.
adverts anymore. Nearly.
There's always been a delay.
Really?
I don't on the PC because I've got an ad blocker.
Yeah, indeed, yeah. It's live out in YouTube land, it isn't. Not yet, anyway.
I'm getting.
It's muted.
All right, we'll put some stuff out live again. Sorry for the echo, folks. Or we'll see if that fixed it.
It's muted.
I don't want to go to Blackpool. It's up north.
I know.
All right, we'll put
Where are
some
the
stuff out
people?
live again. Sorry
Yes.
for the
I've
echo,
never
folks.
been.
Blackpool.
Somebody still
No,
got
I
an-
haven't
we'll
actually
see if
done
that
Blackpool.
fixed it. Somebody's still got an open mic.
But I don't want to go to Blackpool. It's up north.
It's only bloody just up.
I know.
All right, we'll put
Where are
some
the
stuff
people?
out live again. Sorry
Yes.
for the
I've
echo,
never
folks.
been.
Blackpool.
Somebody still
No,
got
I
an-
haven't
we'll
actually
see
done
if that
Blackpool.
fixed it. Somebody's still got an open mic.
But I don't want to go to Blackpool. It's up north.
It's only bloody just up.
I know.
All right, we'll put
Where are
some
the
stuff out
people?
live again. Sorry
Yes.
for the
I've
echo,
never
folks.
been.
Blackpool.
Somebody still
No,
got
I
an-
haven't
we'll
actually
see
done
if that
Blackpool.
fixed it.
Right.
I'm on push to talk, so I'm muted them a lot most of the time.
Right. Oh, we have a Jose. Hello,
I'm on
Jose.
push to talk, so I'm muted them a lot most of the time.
Right. Oh, we have a Jose. How
I'm
do
on
we
push
sound
to
out
talk,
in
so
out in
I'm
the
muted
world
them a lot
now?
most of the time.
Just in case Jose breaks down, we also have Hose B on standby.
There is a Jose alternative, but you don't really want him in here.
No, we don't. We don't want flip flop. Sorry.
No, we don't want flip flop. He's a bloody nuisance.
It was probably me. Let's give it all right, maybe I found it. Hopefully. Let's see. I did have a watch page open that I didn't know about. That's what happens when you do that high IQ research. Too many watch pages.
Too many tabs open.
Too many tabs.
No. 1, 2, 3, 4,
Okay.
5, 6, 7 on that. 2 on that.
Well, only took 6 minutes to sort that crap out, so I think we're good. I think we might be good to go now. You guys are hearing me. Looks like YouTube's hearing me. I don't hear the echo anymore. So excellent. All right, how's everybody doing?
We've made it to Friday.
We certainly have, haven't we?
And I don't think you can ask for a lot more than that at the moment. Well, we've made it to Friday. Obviously, somebody didn't, but hey, we did. So
thank you.
there you go.
Do we have a Jose? Hey, there's a flip-flop. What's up, flip-flop?
Uh-oh.
Flip-flop.
Good. Thank you very much.
You not got washed away yet, then?
I am a recorded message. I am a recorded message.
Look, and you know it's Florida. You could hear the sirens in the background.
It doesn't matter what time of the day you're gonna hear him. So the recording still works. Still a recording.
Nice one, mate. I love it.
Got the police
Here he
off
comes.
Jose again.
I didn't even plan that. The siren was just passing by. That was a good one.
Superb.
I mean, how am I going to plan when this siren is going to go by? Well, wait every 15 minutes or so. And you hear those in Florida, USA. Good to be here, guys.
Do you think we can blame Liz Truss for it?
Well, it's good to hear you, Jose. You haven't been on in a few days.
I haven't been on in over a week. I'm good.
There was a whole thing of who's going to replace Boris Johnson. And there was all this back and forth and all these stupid promises that were never going to be kept. And Liz saying it would be perfectly Liz Truss, that is. Because rich people pay more taxes, it's perfectly sensible to save rich people thousands and thousands of pounds a year and poor people like 70 pence a year. And she eventually became the new leader of the Tory party and therefore our new prime minister without ever being elected. And
Well,
the Queen left the planet rather than congratulate her.
Well, think about it though, Dog. We've never elected a prime minister ever in our history.
No,
we elect parties based on their on policy, right?
Yeah,
so
right.
we don't elect prime minister. We don't.
Because
don't forget what you're doing is when you vote, right? You're electing.
I've
your
voted. I have voted. I do know you vote for a local representative, and the party who gets the most members elected to Parliament has a leader who becomes the prime minister.
Yeah, so you're not electing a prime minister, right?
Is this really the time and the place for British politics?
Fucking hell, man.
I was thinking the same thing.
For a minute.
It's Blue Stream. He's about to go and have some fun. And God help us, we're talking about fucking politics.
Last point about that topic. Why don't we do a democracy and we put three characters and people vote for them? We put Russell Brand, Robert Atkinson, and Sacha Baron Cohen. Thank you very much.
Rowan Atkinson gets
Who would be the next king?
Oh, I see. This has gone all to hell in a handbasket real early.
Oh, come on, Blue. Let's get this back on track, eh? quick, please.
Yeah, let me just do a little something here. Let me see if my friend is live yet. Oh yeah, they're live over there. Excellent. So here's the deal. And I hope you guys are going to enjoy this because I know I am. The folks over at Next Level Try Thinking have really been anxious, shall we say, to get me to come join their Discord. And as Bev would put it, have a chat. I think today might be a good day to do that. Live. So what's going to happen now is I'm going to join that Discord and we'll see if they'll give me the roles and stuff. And if they will, I'm going to leave this Discord and go over to that one, but we'll stay live that way. And you guys can watch the ensuing free-for-all from here. How does that sound?
I can think of worse ways of spending a Friday night, to be honest.
It should be rather amusing, I think.
Yeah,
I think it would be fun if they let you in, if they let you talk, if they really want to have a back and forth. I'll enjoy that very much.
Yeah, well, and the reason I'm doing this live is you've done it before too, Jose. He can mute me all he wants to, but he can't mute me in my channel.
Exactly, yeah.
So whatever I feel like saying is going to go out regardless. I kind of like that idea. So let's see. You guys can't see what I'm doing right now, but I'm gonna click on Bev, and he got his stream going. Let's see. There's a link to his Discord here someplace. Ah, there it is. So let's see what happens. Join. Okay, who's typing?
Sorry.
All right, so let's see. What do we need to do here?
You need to take roles, agree first to the rules, and then take a role.
Okay, I did that. Now what?
After you agree, you should have an options, roles or something.
Oh, choose your role.
Will it keep it? Will you stay here in the Discord
I
and in
won't-
them?
No, I won't be able to, Jose. That's what I was saying.
Okay.
I'm gonna
Then you
leave.
should be able. Then you should be able to see the voice. Choose your
Welcome
role.
to choose your role to start.
Yeah, take the left one. The left one on the top.
You know
The
what?
one is 200
I
and
am-
something.
I am gonna no. I'm not gonna tell him nothing. You show up, Blue. I was gonna tell him like, hey, Blue is trying to join giving roles for the voice, unless you want that, unless you want to try to do the steps yourself, Blue.
I was trying to hear what Shaki said. What? Do what now?
On the top one,
Yeah.
there is two roles you can choose: the right and the left. The left one.
This one? The one that says 210?
That one.
Huh?
Yes, that one.
Okay. All right. Ah, now I see the... So can I see? I guess I could go to the live chat, huh?
Yeah.
And let's see here. Let's give them a little hi guys. Let's see what goes down with that. Uh-oh, Mobius is frantically typing over there. I can't hear him, so. Let's see, somebody waved at me. Mobius waved. Let's see, what I need to do is, let me turn on his audio, on the audio for that.
To entertain. there would be no perpetual motion whatsoever, which is why they do have a motor in those things.
Dan the Waterman's talking.
Are you
That's
sharing
not
the screen over
interesting.
here, Blue? Or
Huh?
not? Are you sharing the screen over here or not?
No, I'm not.
Okay. No worries.
But Alan is the live stream anyway.
Yeah, I'll be sharing the live stream.
Okay, you got which one, Alan? My live stream or theirs?
Your live stream.
Oh, okay. I'll just
Didn't
ask them.
particularly want.
Let's see. Can I join the chat?
Oh no, you're asking for permission?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to be a polite guy.
It's a Friday free for all?
That's what he says. That's what they call it. Friday free for all.
A free for all Friday?
But if you don't go in there polite, it just gives less ammunition. Like, look at the nasty Globo, they can use that kind of stuff against you.
There we go. Yeah. Mobius wanted to know if I was busy running my live stream. Sure. I can multitask. Mobius. Let's see what happens. You guys can see the stream, I think, or see the.
Yeah. Yeah, I was waiting to turn the audio on the stream until you go over there, so that we don't get any feedback.
There we go. When can we have our talk? Yeah. After I talk to Bev, that's when, Mobius. Here comes Mike Jones. This will be funny. Let's see if they're yapping yet.
Yeah, because he's usually so polite and charming.
When we started doing logic, it says if there is any rotation, then a plumb bob
Remember what he called me earlier? It was something pleasant.
Yeah, he's a vile and spiteful little man, that one. There you go.
Oh yeah, that was it.
WPL owned me, apparently.
Can stick to it. That's true.
Yeah, assume Alan is another lurker coward with no argument for his fantasy model.
That's it, Gary. Go and tell them.
I mean,
He's
if
not
you are
trying to
a little
live
bit
stream.
smart, you allow this to happen. Blue has how much? 10 times more subscribers than Bev. A lot more people is gonna reach to this video. They're gonna see what's going on. Bev is getting a plug, a shout out in Blue's channel by doing this. I don't know, if they were smart, they'll allow it.
Allow what?
They'll allow Blue they allow Blue into their chat to talk to them in their stream while Blue's streaming their Discord server view and all that shit. Nothing wrong with that. It's promotion that Blue is giving them for free.
Yep. He's doubling his audience.
Well, I'm pretty sure the boomers over here are doing just as well as the boomers over there.
I don't think they know what to do. I believe they're a little confused right now.
Let me have a listen.
I cannot.
There you go. No rotation there, Bev. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
I just proved that there is no rotation with a plumb bob.
What? Prove there's no rotation with a plumb bob.
That's what he said.
In the name of science.
It's getting worse.
All right, let's see. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get out of our Discord for a moment and see if I can join the chat, the voice channel over there.
Okay.
So hang on a second. This shouldn't do anything to you guys at all.
All day.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting. Wanting to come in during the live show.
Yeah, is Mobius in here? Mobius is in here. I don't know whether Mobius is actually available for talking or not. It was Sunday was the time. Mobius does come in here and just sit and listen like a lot of people do. It's much easier to go into Discord, I think, than to listen to it on YouTube. For some, so up to different people, but it doesn't look like Mobius is available for Blue to do anything.
Well, that's okay, Beth.
That is you. It's not Sugar Cookie, just check Sugar Cookie.
Welcome, Blue.
Hello, guys.
Sugar Cookie's in here.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping I could talk to Bev anyway.
Yeah, is that Blue Marble?
Yeah,
Or
that's
is that
Blue
Sugar
Marble.
Cookie?
On this plane?
Yeah.
2022?
Yeah.
No, we've got a guy that does a Blue Marble impression, and I have to check.
Yeah, and he sucks at it too. But that's okay.
I don't know. I'm still unsure, Blue.
I thought Riley did the best version of you.
You think so?
I know he calls you names, that's all.
Hello, Dan. How are you?
Good. Nice to hear from you.
Well, welcome, Blue. I don't know what do we owe this honor?
Well,
Boredom. Admit it. Boredom.
How about about 1,000 accusations of me being a coward and being afraid to come in your chat? How about that?
Ooh. Don't know who's been doing that.
Pretty much everybody in your chat, Biff.
Oh, okay. Is that how it'll be, Gadget Inspector? Well, welcome.
What are you guys up to?
It's Free for All Friday.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Mm-hmm. Anything goes on Friday, unless gratuitous globe science. We have to stop that.
I mean, there's lots of stuff. It's not like there isn't major switches in world geopolitics today or not.
Yeah, what do you think about the disappearance of the Discord server?
I only heard that rumor, and I don't know really what to make of it, one way or the other.
Yeah, we don't know much other than it has definitely gone.
Was that one that was involving Betty Van Helsen or whatever her name is?
Yeah, science versus pseudoscience.
Oh, I have no idea.
Mm.
I don't keep up with that crowd.
No, I don't either, and I don't know what sort of conversations that were going on or whether Betty shut the server down. Not got a clue. But it doesn't look good for, well, can't say, can we?
Yeah, it beats me.
Well, I think we can say if it wasn't Betty shutting down her own server, it doesn't look good for free speech. What do you think about free speech, Blue? I don't know that I've ever heard you talk about it.
I think it's free.
You do?
But it'll cost you.
It could cost you a lot, maybe.
It just doesn't have a dollar value.
Hey, it's everybody's right to think and say what they want to say. It may not be appropriate. You may not like it, but you know, that's
Yeah.
kind of the way it is.
All you ballers will be happy. I finally got to Austin Whitsitt a little bit, who's willing to really admit the downfalls of that whole Globebuster scene and to try and move past it. So I want to give him some credit for being around lately and not being stuck as a religitard, not being stuck as a Globebuster, and trying to really be as scientific as possible and have a voice without just being a turd.
Hey, Dan, do you want to just, I mean, not everybody on this Discord or in our audience necessarily know what you're talking. I know I don't know what you're talking about. You want to just give a quick synopsis, or?
Austin Whitsitt came around about 3 years ago, and he helped me decipher some of Ken Wheeler's stuff because it's just simply too scientific for me to absorb unless the English is dumbed down. In the past, the dumbing down of science, we originally relied upon stupid Morgile because he was a simpleton who managed to convert some things to diagrams that allowed us to grasp onto some of the concepts of real world universe. And forgive us for being childish, Blue, you know, but that's where we were at. You know, forgive us, really. We needed diagrams. We needed pictures. You're proving that with NASA, that you're supporting all the artwork because people wouldn't understand otherwise. So as flat earthers, I was really excited when Austin.
Wait a minute. When you said as flat earthers, there is just you, isn't there?
Yeah, that I can see in the Discord anyway.
Hello, I'm a flat earther. Thank you.
Yeah,
Is Dan speaking for you?
So
Jose is a traitor. That's totally different.
Beautiful.
Being a traitor.
Yeah.
Who
are you speaking for then, Dan?
Well, I'm trying not to be a traitor like Sean and Jose. I'm trying to weed out some of the crap, find out what's legit to stand on. And there is a couple of still weak points to stand on, as really were the same points I came around to as Flat Earth. They're questions, therefore I stand on those questions, where you guys are really simple about saying, how fucking stupid are you? Here's the data. And I keep saying on behalf of Flat Earth,
On behalf of Flat Earth. On behalf of Flat Earth, do you think somebody measures
Bev, I'm not
mountains
here to argue
flat?
with you, Bev.
No, I'm just asking. On behalf of Flat Earth, do you think there is somebody out there that measures mountains flat?
Globers do all the time. They're really helpful. And I'd like to get rid of some of the shit that we pile up as part of Flat Earth, because Flat Earth is full of shit. And it doesn't need to be. There's science there. There's shit to stand on that's valid. And there's questions and there's things to learn. It doesn't mean we should spout shit or pull religitard stuff. And that's mostly what I was saying about Austin is he's super religious, but he doesn't bring that to the table right away. And that helps me a lot to talk about science. Otherwise, I'd get shut down as part of a religious zealot movement. Imagine how lucky I am to even talk to you, Blue, and not be shut down as a religitard, just because we could get pigeonholed that way too. You know?
I hear you.
And shout out to Rob Parks. You know, Professor Rob Parks is trying to do his best to make sense of his world. He really, you know, he had the most simple question. He's like, explain what I see then. Forget NASA. Forget all that. He goes, astronomy's been around a lot longer. People have been looking up for a long time. Explain that. And he has a valid point. You know, explaining the sky is difficult.
Dan, as a flat earther, I want to be your hype man. Will you allow me to be your hype man?
Sure. Just
okay, thanks.
What do you do Mondays now? When is your gig, Jose? When is your gig? Mondays? When are you doing live?
Oh, I don't know. Whenever I feel like.
Pick a day so we can all get in the schedule.
Well, I'm glad. I'm glad Bev made the point that he's not a flat earther, because that really was something I wanted to talk about the other day. I caught one of your shows, Bev, and Shaky was in here, and he put up one of those pictures of you and Blackpool in the background. And that is excellent proof that the Earth is not flat. You think we could go over that?
Go over the fact that everybody agrees that the Earth is not flat.
Yeah,
I didn't agree.
Go on
to
then.
that.
What do you want to? What do you want to go
even
about
Rob-
it not being flat?
Danny's a flat earther. Yeah.
Yeah, that picture shows the Earth's not flat.
Yeah,
I would
we
say
know
that
it's not
every,
flat.
Every picture can
Yeah.
show that Earth is not flat.
Yeah.
Every single one.
But it actually shows how much curvature there is too, and that's great.
Curvature to what, Blue?
To the water.
What, to the tide?
Yeah, the ocean.
Or the waves?
The ocean.
Is there any ocean there in that picture?
Well, we know where it is, though. I mean, we know where it will be a few minutes after, or a few hours after you were there, right?
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it could come.
Oh.
But how does a picture that doesn't show the ocean or water show that the water's curving?
Well, we know where Blackpool Tower is, and we know how high above the water it is, and we know where you were standing, and,
14 miles away, Blue.
Yes.
Or
Yeah,
13
at least
and a half
13.
miles away.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
You don't
you're,
do that sort of thing with an auto level.
well, sure you do.
No, you don't. Did you not see it when we were doing that? We were doing a sight test to see how far you could see. And we had a measuring rod there, so you could actually see the measuring rod to see what
you got to read the
reading
numbers.
you could make.
No, you can't read.
You made the mistake, like Chaiki, of looking in the background and looking past what we were taking it there for.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with it, though.
Yeah, there is. That's we went there to go and show people how far you can effectively see through an auto level and read it on the measuring rod. We went way too further than we should do anyway.
Well, we don't need to read it on the measuring
even
rod.
within that, but you weren't even looking at that. You were looking 14 miles in the distance.
Yeah, where it's striking the building. Can I share my screen? Is there any way I can do that?
All right, have you got some of the clip? Well, let's get it on. Yeah, we need to sort your roles out. Can somebody give Blue a role for a short while?
Hey, can you give me a role to post pictures in your chat and your
You can
text
post
chat,
pictures,
please?
can't you?
No, I cannot.
Oh.
Doesn't allow me.
Well, no, sorry.
I'm not planning on posting anything, but if anytime there's an argument to be made and somebody asks me for some kind of citation or photo or something, I won't be able to do it.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think you're allowed, Jose.
Yeah, of all the
All right.
motherfuckers, really. Come on. That's not fair. It's nice of him to ask, but that's pretty crazy.
He's allowed in here. He
Yeah.
has called us racist.
He's been real nice lately, though.
Yeah,
Really.
I know.
All
But
the
he has
Globers,
publicly called us racist.
all the Globers have been
Like,
real
with no
nice.
shame or anything.
I appreciate all the Globers these days. Flat Earthers have been a pain in my ass. Globers have been cool.
What
Fence-
about us?
what about you fence
ones that
riders?
don't give a shitters.
Yeah, you guys are
Earthers.
trouble. No,
Don't
that's
give
what.
a shit about the Earthers.
Yeah, that sucks. That you on the fencers really make life hard for everyone.
No, it's just don't give a shit. I've got my own proofs. I'm fine. I'm good. Don't need no globe salesman or anything. Don't need a flat Earth salesman. I'm absolutely fine with what I know.
Well, I think
I know what I know.
That makes your show good because you're willing to contest everything, and that makes at least it's a show of where people are being contested on their quote unquote beliefs, because we got no time for beliefs in a state of logic, right? Right. We can all agree about that. Fuck beliefs.
No.
Let's weed them out. Good job. Bev. You know,
That's completely false.
why?
Knowledge is a belief.
Whoa.
And
Yeah, I don't even know how to fight.
It is not.
You don't know how to deal with that?
I don't know how to
It's
fight.
been that way for.
I don't know how to have a fair fight with you. I don't.
I know.
A belief comes with knowledge, also, right? You can believe something to be true at the same time as knowing it to be true.
I feel that
Knowledge is a subset of beliefs.
No, belief is
Absolutely not.
faith-based. Belief is faith-based.
No, it's not.
Well, that's why it's a belief.
No,
Otherwise,
it's
it
not.
would be a matter of fact. It would be a matter of fact.
It's been this way for 4,000 years in Western philosophy. Knowledge is a justified true belief. Beliefs are anything in mental content that you hold to be true. If you hold to be true, something to be true, and it's unjustified, people call that faith. That's an unjustified belief. That's faith. A justified belief is called knowledge, right? And that's both of those are subsets of the larger context of belief. And this has been how people have understood this for the last 4,000 years.
Yeah, they believe in theory. They believe in theories. Fuck that.
No,
Like
we have
whatever you
beliefs.
think is wrong, right, Brenda?
Yes, I
No, you
think
have
that Brenda
beliefs.
is completely wrong, and
No.
Brenda is you are talking like someone who established that this is true what you are talking about. But
Yeah,
can you bring any, for example, ancient writings about
Yes.
knowledge?
Yes, Plato.
Plato.
Yes, Plato.
Go on.
In the Thetis.
Go on.
Thetis. Yes.
Go on.
Just read it.
No,
this has
go
been-
on. Give
this
us
has been
an
the-
example. Give us
this
an
has been the
example from
case.
within, Brenda.
This has been the case for 4,000 years.
Yeah, please.
that-
I quite like Plato. Give us the part, because everybody else, when we go over the trivium, reenacting parts.
Yeah, in case everybody's hasn't noticed, down here you can stream and Discord. I'm still blocked. They're not. I don't think they're going to let me do this, but we'll see.
Give us a broad outline of where you're going with this, please.
I just told you. Mental content that you hold to be true. Right? So the moon is made of green cheese. That's mental content. It's a thought that I have. And if I hold it to be true, that it is true that the moon is made out of green cheese, that is a belief. I have no justification for that belief. It's false. The moon is not made out of green cheese.
Was
right?
that in Plato? Did Plato do that, Brenda?
Not that.
I must have missed
example.
that bit.
Not that particular example. No, of course not.
And by the way, you are I think you are confusing belief with opinion. It is called, what you are describing is opinion.
Yes, that's what a belief is. And
They seem to be suffering technical difficulties at the next level. I see Grumpy Octopus up here said, I gave Blue the roll, but it doesn't seem to be working. Imagine that. Grumpy, you're right. It still got me blocked. Everybody can see the little circle with the red line through it. No sharing. Wonder how that happened.
Get angry, Brenda. We all know what happens when you get angry.
Yeah, when you get abused by you, yes. Right? So when you talk over me and do it repeatedly on purpose in order to trigger me. Right? So again,
I wouldn't do that,
and you did it yesterday, in every single philosophy department, in every single school across the world, they will teach you this simple fact on like day one. This is day one, handout one, freshman, philosophy 101.
Wasn't Blue going to
knowledge.
show something, Brenda? Wasn't Blue going to show us something? Aren't you kind of stepping all over him, or am I out of line here?
If people wish to move on, that's fine.
I'd just like to point out that what Brenda says is utterly basic.
teamwork.
Utterly,
Oh, we got the
utterly,
whole crew
utterly
here. Holy
basic.
shit.
Utterly basic. The fact that you don't know that knowledge
The
is
entire
a subset of belief.
council.
Just ask yourself this question.
Global
Does Bev, hold on, just try this. Does Bev
Nuance,
believe that his
special
name is
missions.
try this little question that might help you out. Do you believe, Bev, that your name is Bev?
Oh, this is going to hell in a handbasket. Get around to letting me do what I want to do.
Well, if you don't be quiet, Brian. If you don't understand that belief is required for knowledge, and that it's a subset, and just ask yourself the question. I mean, Brian is your. You could ask Brian. Do you believe that your name is Brian? If you don't believe that,
do you believe
then your name,
you're going to do
your name is
Does
Brian.
anybody believe Rumpus is going to do his test this year?
It is troublesome, I must admit, but I'm still trying. But it's 50-50.
Just going back to old footage off of Ranty's, dude, and we were discussing it on Ranty's channel like years ago about this test. I hope you do it, but man, are you ever going to fucking do it? Didn't you go out there?
Did I go out there? Yes, I did go out there. Yes, I got lots of video of me being out there, which I have not yet published.
And you're going to publish that, Rumpus? Because then
I
we
was
can
going
put the
to
one
do
that
it.
we've got with the auto level.
I was going to do it when I knew for a fact that something like a month later I would then definitely do the test, because otherwise it'll become sort of old hat. But I'm still intending to do it, but it is 50-50, unfortunately. But anyway, let's not distract from the point that you don't understand.
The longer you take, though, Rumpus, the longer you take, we're thinking that you're not getting what you want with the results, so you just have to keep going back, and it's taking longer and longer. That's kind of how it appears. Not saying that for a fact, but it's given the appearance of you're not seeing what you want through there, so you're not going to publish it, and it's taking forever to get what you want to see through there. Through the
okay, you can think that, but it's not the case. Anyway, I've got a bell ringing.
I don't necessarily think that. I don't think that, Rumpus. Not necessarily. I'm open-minded.
Well, then why say it? I mean, it's just
appearing like.
When I go there, I can't. Well, I mean, okay, I suppose you could argue, just like the Black Swan thing. He went there 30 odd times, and then he only produced a video on the time he got the strange effects. But yes, I mean, if I could go, but I can't go there. It's 50 odd, 60 odd miles away. I can't predict.
You have went enough to see that it's almost always mirage.
But the point is, I'm doing it from an elevated position in which the refraction conditions should not be horrible. So anyway, that's why I'm going up. If I was down at the level of the water, then you might have a point, but I'm not. I'm deliberately trying to avoid high refraction conditions by getting up as high as I possibly can away from the water. Anyway, I've got a bell going, so I'd just like to point out that Brenda made an absolutely correct point. If you don't understand that knowledge is a subset of belief, then ask yourself, do you believe what your name is? And if you don't, then you realise that belief is the most fundamental part. It doesn't mean faith. It means that you believe that to be something to be true. Now, then you've got to then justify it if it's true. Then you've got to say, I've got lots of evidence to believe it's true. Then it becomes knowledge. But I don't believe in knowledge anyway. Justified truth belief is a bollocks concept, and philosophers have thought so for the last few decades. But anyway, belief is an absolute requirement, and if you think something is true, you have to believe it. And it's not the same as faith. And the fact that Paper Organist equated what Brenda specifically said, it was
other
knowledge.
people can have their own opinions, can't they, of these sort
And that's
of things?
belief. Yes, you might believe the moon is made out of cheese. That's a belief. That's fine. But when you've got evidence to support
that was
it,
Brenda that was believing that. I don't definitely.
Right. So you don't believe it. But if you did, that would be a belief. But if it the definition of knowledge is that you've got lots of good evidence to support that. But if you don't believe something,
you might believe there's a remote control car on Mars. It's just a belief, right?
Yeah, that's just a belief, yes. But it doesn't. But knowledge is a subset of that. If I was able to draw diagrams on here, which I can't because Bev censors diagrams, I could draw you a quick a diagram showing you one's a subset of the other. But I can't do that because, of course, Bev censors diagrams. Anyway, I've got to go. I've got a bell ringing.
Anybody can post anything in the chat whenever.
Would you
pointless?
Let,
no,
would you let
pointless.
Blue share his screen? Would you let Blue
Jose.
share his screen, please?
I thought I asked somebody, can they do that, or
I
has
think
it been
that
done or
Rumpus
not?
made a
How to do
mistake
that?
because he said that knowledge is subset of belief. Quite opposite, as I remember that Brenda said. So maybe I misheard.
I said knowledge. I said knowledge is a subset of belief.
Oh, so used. It's quite opposite.
Citation needed.
Knowledge is
Citation.
it's in no citation like you citation for your claim, and you
Yeah,
cannot
Plato.
cite anything.
Plato.
Plato what?
Plato's book, the Theaetetus.
And
The entire
what?
book. The book. The entire book is about epistemology.
This is not citation.
Yeah, it's a reference. Go read it.
Reference, so not citation.
That's the same thing. It's a book. You read it. He's telling you where to read it. Citation.
You see?
Can we see Blue's? Can we see Blue's screen? Can we allow him? Can we move from this?
Yeah,
we're not going to get any further.
Brenda, just a minute. If you finish hosting for a minute, Blue, can you live stream? You have got the live streaming role. Is it working?
Yeah, it looks like it is now. Hang on a second.
I would quickly like to say that at George Mason University, tomorrow we're having our first annual Space Day. One of the speakers is Colonel Michael Hopkins, the commander of Dragon 1, the first commercial flight taking astronauts to the ISS. Thought you all might.
Holy shit, is that Rob Parks? Welcome, Rob.
Wow.
Good to see you, buddy.
That's great.
It's gonna be on YouTube. I think it's the GMU Observatory channel, but yes.
So that's the
This is insane. This is like the all-star cast. Everybody coming together on a Friday. All right.
Dan, that's why I haven't been able to respond to you, is because I've been dealing with all that.
No hurry. Thanks. You got a great voice, by the way.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
I thought that was a plug when it came in. I didn't realize you were live. I thought that was the video starting.
Oh no, that is me.
You should do voiceover stuff.
I would love to do voiceovers, actually.
Echo.
Hey, Bev, I tried to post a video of Brenda's identity crisis, whether she's a glober or a flat earther, that I got off your channel, and you said for somebody to upload it. Most certainly did. That was a hell of a hangout. But
Did
I
you
tried
get
to post
shaky?
it. And not yet. I'm working on that. But
no,
also,
Chaika did the same
I got
thing.
Brenda fighting for the flat Earth, basically.
Yeah.
Against, and but I couldn't post it, man. It won't give me permission to post in Discord. Can Emma help me on that? I'm not gonna post nothing.
You should be able to do it. I don't know what's up.
Saying permissions required. I tried it on the level. I tried it on YouTube videos. I'm just letting y'all know if it's something that is on my end or y'all's end. But I'm not gonna post nothing messed up, Just
Sure,
so you
you
know.
posted it in here. I've seen you post it.
Yeah, I did. But I don't know. It won't post on. It won't update for some reason. Let me try it again. I'll back off.
It must be something on Discord end. No, none of the settings have changed, or we've not changed anything. So
Could be on my end too, man. I'll check her. I'll try and make it work. But if Blue's gonna post that screen, just before we do, I wanted to say that if we're trying to look off in the distance to an auto level, they tell you in the and all the even the president of the Survey Society says that we don't go more than, I think he says 100 meters or 100 feet. We do it just how we've always done it, little short spans at a time. But I think the reason for that is, like, we walk outside and look at the clouds above us. It makes it look like we're living in a small dome, kind of, just from our perspective, from refraction, whatever's causing it. But if you rise up to the clouds, you'll see them. They're not curving down like they appear to be doing on the ground. So I'd say the same thing with anything 14 miles in the distance. It's going to be curved. It might appear to be going down, but we know that in reality it's not. That'd be my point.
Okay. I hear you. Can you see my screen?
I didn't really understand that. I can see your screen. Yeah.
Can you see that? Good. Let's see here. That's the picture that Shaky brought the other day, right? Blackpool Tower, made through an auto
I
level.
can only see Discord.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Echo
yeah.
has happened. Oh, I'm seeing too.
Hmm. All right, let me try something different. We might be able to do it this way. Let me see. Let me stop sharing for a second.
I think you're sharing the wrong screen.
Yeah. Here, let's do this. Now you should be able to see it.
Yes.
Now you see that?
Yep.
Yeah, that should be okay. That's the picture Shaky brought, right? It's the
Well,
Blackpool Tower in the
The
background.
picture in the background is when we went and did that test, right, for optics. The bit on the right and the little picture of Blackpool Tower from a completely different perspective,
Right.
are put on by Chaiki. Yes.
Yeah. I recognize that. I didn't have a clean shot of the video itself, so I just used the one Shaky had. But yeah, everybody should realize, obviously, that's not that's added on. That's an overlay that Shaky added to it. That's just a picture of Blackpool from a very close distance. But
Yeah, I think I'm about 500 meters away at that distance. I mean, what sort of number can you read on the measuring rod?
you can't.
I am holding the measuring rod.
Yeah, you can't.
Okay. Do you know why we went there that day? Because George said that he could measure accuracy of 1 arc second over 500 meters. So we got, obviously, we weren't clever enough to do the maths ourselves. So we got somebody to do a calculation of what 1 arc second over 500 meters would be. And it turns out it's about 2.5 mil. So we said 3. And then we went 500 meters away and then went, go on then. 3 mil. Accuracy.
Well, yeah.
That's why we went there, to show that specifically, to show that some people claim fucking ridiculous things, that they don't even seem to understand what they're saying. Blue. It's like they're not even possible what they say that they claim they can do. That's why we went there, to show people that these claims that people make are ridiculous.
Well, I don't
That's
know.
why you have an
claim.
operating range of like about 100 meters, not 500 like in that picture.
Oh, it has to do with what you can read. That's really what it has to do with. That's what you're talking about. And most auto level manufacturers that you'll run into, as you'll see here very shortly, will tell you that you can read about 1/16 of an inch at 250 feet. And that's if you've got a 32x.
To a millimeter, that's what we said. That's why the operating range
if you go
is
up to like
100 meters.
And if you go up to like 40x, you can read it out to, about 100 meters or so. And that's going to be probably about as good as you can do without some precision type equipment. Not this sort of auto
exactly
level.
Why we went out there, Blue, to do these tests live.
You need a digital
what we
auto
do.
level, but accidentally.
This is called On the Level Discord server, right? Because we put the camera on the level, and then we do these tests. We go out there to show people.
It's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant, Biff. It certainly is. But accidentally, in the background, we have Blackpool. We still have that thing sitting there. And
No, just the measuring rod. You never look in the background.
I'm sure you do.
When you're doing... No.
Blue, you think that was an accident, Blue? You think that was an accident?
No,
I said, do you think that was an act? You think they put Blackpool in the background on accident?
No, I don't think so. I think it was very intentional, and that's great.
Okay, good.
I'm glad you did that. Absolutely glad you did that. But you don't think that's showing Earth curvature, and I think you're wrong. So let's go.
Where's curve? I don't see curve.
Let's go to that question. I'll show it to you in a minute. Do auto levels have a range limit? Do they really?
Yeah, for operating accurately to millimeter, like we sort of require, first order measurement, right? 1 millimeter.
Now, to be able to read it, right? To be able to read the scale. That's what we're saying.
Yes, in order to be able to measure accurately and use the tool accurately. Yes.
Well, they don't have any specified maximum range, do they? This is a Leica.
You have to establish that yourself, Blue. Yes.
Right.
That's why you need to go out and see how far you can actually see. That's why we put the camera on the auto level to show people what you can actually see at these distances.
Yeah. Brilliant.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. But my point is, there is no specified maximum range for an auto level. I've heard a lot of people say that there is.
Your point seems to be that you're looking in the distance, right? You're forgetting to look at the measuring rod
if you
and
weren't
see
there,
what we're sort of saying.
If you weren't standing there, would Blackpool Tower still be out there?
Blackpool Tower is still there, as far as I know.
All right.
Yeah. I mean, but I haven't seen it. Well, actually, I saw it earlier today.
And,
it was definitely there.
And if you're standing there, if you're standing there or you're not standing there, would the roof of that building between you and the actual tower itself still have an elevation of about 100 feet above sea level? Yes or no?
That's why I brought up the clouds, Blue. Like the clouds are dropping down.
Blackpool Tower is set there. It doesn't move anywhere.
Okay. Right.
There's no land tide lifting it up and putting it back down again. They don't exist, Blue.
So we know
land
how high.
tides don't exist.
Yeah, so we know how high Blackpool Tower is. We know exactly how far it is above the sea level. We know that you're not very far above sea level with that auto level, are you?
I'm on the beach doing a test.
On the beach, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So that beach
doing
is fairly flat,
to show people how far you can see through.
Blue, what's the slope? Since you're getting information off this, what's the slope from Bev's mark to the bottom of Blackpool Tower? You're pulling information off this. Let's get some helpful information. What's the slope besides your earth curve? What's the slope for water if we're laying out pipes or something? If this is how they do it, we're laying out pipes. What's the slope?
It's the beach.
I'm not talking about the slope.
Of course, Blue knows what you're talking about. The drop.
We're talking about level, Brian.
They're talking about the drop.
Is the auto level is showing the auto level is sitting level? Right. We assume.
Come on, Blue, get through your slideshow. Come on, Brian, leave Blue to do his presentation.
Roger that.
Yeah. Okay. Here's another auto level. This one happens to be Trimble. This is one where you see them tell you the leveling accuracy, and it comes up with numbers like you're talking about, Biff. You can see 1.5 millimeters at 75 meters. You can see about a 1/16 of an inch at 250 feet. Those numbers are equivalent. That's about 4.2 arc seconds, more or less. Okay. I went through a bunch of these. Here's one from Topcon. Again, no specified maximum range. Same thing with this Nikon. This is an expensive Nikon. Those.
Can I just ask you a question, Blue?
Yeah.
None of those are 14 miles away.
What do you mean? 14 miles.
They're not. There's no specified range.
There's no. That's my point. There's no specified range. It's shooting level.
Yeah. Blue thinks 14 miles is within because it doesn't say a specified range.
Well, obviously is.
Do you reckon you could read the measuring rod? Because we've done this before, Blue.
Tripod, but I'm not
auto level measuring rod, three constituent parts.
But Bev, I'm not trying to read the measuring rod. What I'm trying to read.
That's one of the constituent parts.
What I'm trying to read, Bev, is
process.
What I'm trying to read is the height of that building in the distance.
You shouldn't do that, Blue.
Well, there's nothing wrong with it. It's perfectly fine. Let me show you why.
Blue, that's not how the tool works.
In fact, there's your auto level, Bev. There's no range specified on it either. So, okay, so we're in agreement that no auto level manufacturers give a specified range.
For the price, Blue. Look at the specs on it.
Oh, it's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Yes, I love this thing. The compensator setting accuracy is 0.3 seconds. Even the expensive ones don't get down that good, typically. Yeah, this thing is great. and for the money, it's outstanding. I listened to your video.
Mm-hmm.
So
Where
really,
George
the only
using it, wasn't
limitation when we're using an auto level or a theodolite, the only real limitation we have is what the human eye can resolve at the rod, right? Or whatever
So we
you're
can shoot
using.
stars too, then, right, Blue? We can shoot stars with auto level.
Oh, sure.
And know that they're left with our feet, and water will slope.
Yep.
We know that water will
No,
flow
Blue, you don't
down
really
towards
mean
under the
you
sun.
can shoot stars with the auto
you
level, do you?
You can shoot out in the distance and see what star is at on the
What
in the
stars
sky
do you reckon it would see?
at that elevation, appearing at the
What
elevation of the auto level.
elevation, Blue?
The elevation of the auto level, Biff.
Uh-huh.
It's
So
it's an auto
whatever
level,
you
right?
look at, that's the elevation.
It's a device that establishes a horizontal plane, right?
So all points on that plane would have an equal elevation.
Yeah, with respect to, in reference to that plane, yes.
So what about the cloud, Blue? What about the clouds behind
I don't want to take that one back.
Hmm?
I'll give you a mulligan on that one.
No, yeah, I don't need.
I'll go over it again. All points on a horizontal plane have an equal elevation. Are you okay with that?
All points on a plane do not have an equal elevation. No.
Oh.
I didn't hear what you said.
Okay, so the auto
elevation's
do?
got a different definition. Horizontal is not level. Level. When you're talking about elevations, we're talking about with respect to level, not to a horizontal
the auto
plane.
level.
Yeah, the auto level doesn't establish that. It establishes
Doesn't
a
establish
horizontal
points have
plane.
an equal elevation.
No, it doesn't.
You sure?
Yeah, positive. Auto levels do not establish equal elevations. They establish a horizontal plane.
Well, aren't
think the
the
clouds-
measurements on the vertical from that horizontal plane?
Say what now?
Where you get the elevation change.
Say what now?
On the tool establishes a horizontal plane.
Yeah.
Now we measure an elevation change by measuring a vertical change
Yeah, and this is another reason why.
from that horizontal plane, from the tool, the auto level.
This is another reason
The
why.
tools, particularly for establishing
Yeah, of course, you're
elevation
just going to
changes.
talk over me, so okay. This is another reason why we don't use auto levels out past, 50 or 75 yards normally. Because at that distance, the deviation from horizontal due to curvature of the Earth is minor. It's less than a millimeter. It really doesn't
It's
make
not
any
due to
difference. You can't.
Blue, so the cloud behind Blackpool is literally dropped in 20 miles. It's dropped 2 miles. Is that what you're saying? That's Earth curve? You're saying?
That is Earth curve. Yeah, sure.
So the
Exactly
cloud
what it
dropping 2 miles, or the cloud apparently dropping a mile in 20 miles.
We're dealing with an auto level.
Yeah, it's an auto level. Exactly.
Yeah, but he's trying to use the auto level.
You're
to
not
shoot-
looking
to
at
shoot
clouds,
14
are you?
miles.
Blue.
Say what?
You're not looking at the clouds, are you?
No, we're not looking at clouds. We're looking at
not looking
the
at the
building in the
clouds, right?
distance.
Okay. And you're saying there is a vertical change from that horizontal established 14 miles in the distance. You do realize that the crosshair is like about half an inch away from where your eyeball is?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. And that the image comes through a prism system. So the image actually, once it's finished coming through the prism system, is only about an inch away as well.
Yeah, I realize
You know
that.
what, after all of that.
They're very precise instruments, though, and they are good. Some of them to an arc second. No doubt about that.
Not over 14 miles. Though.
Oh, certainly. That doesn't change, Bev. The distance
No,
away. That deviation, that one arc second deviation exists whether you're a foot away from the front of the auto level or 100 miles away from it.
Because the crosshair is within the instrument.
Arc seconds are arc seconds, Bev. That's beyond the instrument. That is a deviation from true horizontal to where those crosshairs are. One arc second
So do you
applies
agree with George?
no matter what distance. Doesn't make any difference. Doesn't matter what distance you are.
Do you agree with George's claim, Blue? That the arc second accuracy over 500 meters?
I don't know what George's claim is specifically.
1 second accuracy over 500 meters.
Yeah, 1 arc second accuracy over any distance. It doesn't make any difference how far you go.
Over any distance, you can't see it. We've just shown that.
I've just explained it to you. It's an
You
angle.
cannot
That angle doesn't
see
change with
that.
distance.
You
The
can't
angle is
see
established
that
at the
3
instrument.
millimeters.
The angle is established at the instrument, nowhere else.
Blue, we know a rainbow seen from up in the sky is a circle, like a hula hoop. You'd use an auto level or something to shoot a rainbow and call it Earth curve or
No,
something?
you wouldn't do that, Brian. But
Well, that's kind of what you're doing.
no, that's not kind of what I'm doing. Here's a little document that you might be interested in. You probably know these guys, Bev, the National Oceanography Center. That's a British outfit. They're the guys responsible for all your tide gauges and tide
Sorry, I
gauge
have a question.
tide gauge benchmarks. Go ahead.
I have a question. Because you said that this is a deviation, this arc second, and this not very accurate measurement is showing discrepancy between horizontal or level and Earth curve. But from what you said, it means that this discrepancy would be from just horizontal. So if the outer level is slightly off, it means that it would mean that it is slightly off from normal straight horizontal also. No curvature needed to account.
That's right. That's right. That is the accuracy of the instrument. It can get within an arc second.
So if we were measuring 2 foot off, if we were measuring 2 foot off the ground and looking through the auto level, it would appear to be coming up, right?
Yep.
Off in the distance. So how are you basing these long distance structures on as being accurate?
No,
when
I think everybody's getting it mistaken here, right? We didn't go there to set the accuracy. We went there to show that George claimed he could get an accuracy of 1 arc second. So what we were showing was that George supposedly would be able to measure 1 arc second over that distance.
Right. Was it a 24
like
zoom?
moving his thing 1 arc second to look at something. So he knew what 1 arc second changes. And that's 2.5 mil over 500 meters. Impossible. That's why we went to show exactly what we went to show. That George is claiming ridiculous things. You can't claim these arc second accuracies if you can't see them.
The manufacturer claims the arc second accuracy on distances that they can measure, Bev. That's why they tell you 1/16 of an inch at 250 feet.
How you gonna mark it if you can't see it, Blue?
That's your limit.
But you can see that. Okay, hang on a second. We'll get there, right? Let's go back to this, though. These guys talk about leveling because they are responsible for maintaining the tide gauge benchmarks all around England, okay? And this is an interesting document. It talks about auto levels. It talks about how they work. In fact, when I go to the next page, you'll see there's the prisms, mirrors, the suspended prism and the mirrors you were talking about, Beth, all in there. But then they talk about errors and leveling. So I'll make that big enough that everybody can see it. There are a large number of potential error sources in leveling. Many of these are only significant for precision leveling over long distances. For shorter segments of leveling, they will not occur. In connecting the tide gauge benchmark to nearby benchmarks, there are only 3 worth mentioning: collimation error, error due to Earth curvature, and error due to refraction.
Why do we need Earth curvature? We just have the collimation and the refraction, the 2 that are provable.
Well, the Earth curvature is pretty provable too, Brian.
So the rainbow's dropping physically, or is that like refraction? Is that atmospheric? You know, it's just apparent,
Well,
right?
I'm not talking about
The rainbow's
rainbows.
not really dropping down to the ground, is it?
Nah, let's not talk about rainbows. Let's talk about this.
Well, I brought
And
up
here-
clouds, and I'm just bringing up things we see in the distance, and
Okay.
and what happens in reality. That's all.
Here we go. Here's
Thanks.
here's the auto level set up. Here's the horizontal it's shooting. This is where the actual reading is, where you see my little hand moving around. You'd really like it to follow. You'd like the line of sight to follow the curvature of the Earth, but it doesn't. So you're always shooting above where the actual point is. Now, if you get far enough back here,
Blue.
you get far enough back
when
here, it
you're
doesn't make
shooting
any
with your
difference.
level, you're shooting on the horizontal, like exactly where you plan to.
You're shooting horizontal here.
Yeah,
But
that's
that is
exactly
not a-
what you meant to do.
But that is not a constant elevation. That's not a constant elevation above the surface.
Perpendicular.
That's not
Blue.
that's not a constant elevation above the surface. It's a
That
cartoon.
rod
Bill.
isn't. The rod
Bill,
isn't
don't-
perpendicular.
Bill, don't be childish. This is
I'm
just a
not.
cartoon.
I'm not. Blue, I'm
Simply a
telling you,
cartoon.
you
That's
get
all it is.
sacked if you weren't holding
It's
the rod
telling-
perpendicular.
Well, it would be it is intended to show perpendicular here at this point where it's
It's
sitting.
not perpendicular, Blue. That's not perpendicular to the horizontal.
Okay, it's a cartoon, Biv. That's all it is. If that's causing you a problem, maybe maybe
Well,
we'll
okay, I
just
mean,
move
you
on.
can carry on,
Move
Blue, but
forward.
I'm just putting in my objection, saying
Okay.
that is not perpendicular.
Okay, all right. I agree. In that cartoon, that auto level would be shooting over a distance of a couple of 1,000 miles of the Earth. Yeah, you're right.
And your platform's really high for an
Yeah.
observation.
Yeah, it is. You'd be way, way up in the air.
Yeah,
That's
but Blue,
above-
my whole point
That's above
was,
the space shuttle.
my
That's
whole
above
point
the
was that the
ISS. Yeah.
My whole point was that the clouds and the rainbow are appearing to compress to the ground. Why wouldn't everything else way off in the distance? That's just how we see, right? The clouds ain't really compressing to the ground.
Brian, what are you talking about the clouds for?
Because that's things
Do you
we
not
see
see
up high.
Blue's got an auto level? He's trying to do a presentation here.
Yeah, we can see these things. We can see them through the auto level. We can see rainbows through an auto level or cloud. I just bringing up a counterpoint.
But anyway, that's what the British government thinks about it. And they talk about refraction. Of course, that is something you've got to be concerned about too. Refraction is always present, no matter what. We're looking through an atmosphere, period. There's no way around it. You got to deal with refraction. But if you don't like those citations, let's talk about the Ordnance Survey.
What's the biggest distance you've ever looked through your auto level? Like,
Probably 15 miles.
seriously?
Probably 50. Probably about, yeah, well.
If you insist
Yeah,
upon
maybe more close to what you're talking about, but probably closer to 13 miles.
About
Come on,
And you read your measuring rod 13 miles away?
No, I didn't. I was shooting at some television antennas on Sharps Ridge, about 13 miles from where I live.
Oh, come on.
So you weren't
Blue.
doing differential leveling.
No, that's not intended to be a
Well,
discussion
what
of
would
differential
you?
leveling.
But that's what the tool's for.
Well, the tool that's what the tool's for, but the tool can show us
Yeah,
other things.
thank you very much. Thanks for admitting that's what the tool's for.
Of course, that's what you
That's
use
not
it
what
for.
you were
That's what you use
doing
it
with
for.
the tool.
That's
So
what
what
use
you're
it for.
doing, you're not actually using the tool for leveling, right? You're not using it for differential leveling.
No.
Yeah, Bev, give me a sec. He's trying to hammer a screw.
Well, that's your opinion, but despite that, it is what it is. You can.
So you tried to use
make
official
observations.
documents, but now you're letting people know that what you're talking about isn't actual procedure.
Nobody said it was,
survey it.
Beth. Nobody ever represented this as a procedure.
You are. You're trying to pretend it because
I'm
you're
telling you.
showing official documents.
Yes,
for
I
the
am showing
tools.
official documents.
Well, yeah, but they're
am
not
showing
talking about going 14 miles, Blue.
They're talking about the accuracy of the instrument, Bev.
Not
And it's
over 14
it's
miles,
specified. It doesn't matter. It's specified in an angle, Bev, which doesn't
No, I
change
think
with
you're
distance.
understanding them.
The
I
1
don't.
arc second,
If anybody's
the 1
thinking
arc
of buying
second
auto
deviation
levels, please don't buy them on the
occurs a
blues
foot away from the
opinion.
lens of that auto
It's
level,
not the use
occurs
of
a mile
auto
away
levels.
from it, 10 miles away from it, or 100 miles away from it. It's
These are
still
tools
1 arc
for
second.
professional use.
Still 1 arc second, no matter what you say.
Please don't listen to
And of course,
scientists. Sorry, blue
would
marble science.
This would be the ordnance survey. And I think you've had some exchanges with these guys too, haven't you, Bev? With Twitter.
Yeah, it's
I think
well
I've seen some of that
documented,
stuff.
Blue. You should know that.
Yeah, this in particular.
You can also apparently you can request the DMs off Ordnance Survey that I've had with them. Contact. You can just say, "Excuse me, Ordnance Survey. Can you show me the DMs, the conversations that you had with Try Thinking?" And they'll go, "Yes, of course."
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure I probably could. I've seen them, so I don't really need to do that. But
yeah.
This statement says it all, I think. Of course, it cannot be. The Earth is round.
Chaiki was
Any
meant to be
gravitationally
doing
level
this tonight.
surface.
Are you doing this for Chaiki?
No, I'm just doing it because I found it very interesting that you managed
Chaiki
to
came to you.
capture.
This Chaiki's been talking about doing this, all of this.
That you managed to capture all the information. Let's see. Make sure I get the next slide. This one.
Blue, when you walk outside, everything looks kind of like a dome. That's way off in the distance. Don't it look like a dome around us? The way we see things. Would you agree with that at least?
Does it look like a dome? I don't know. You can.
Yeah, a little dome
maybe to some people it might appear that way.
I mean, even at night,
Okay.
at night with the clouds. I mean, you wouldn't agree. You wouldn't at least give me that it does look like a little dome around us.
I said to some people, that may be what it looks like to you. It doesn't look like that to me necessarily, but that doesn't matter. I'm not saying it doesn't to you. Is that fair enough?
Yeah, but the clouds above us. This is the reason I bring up the clouds.
Brian, can you not see that Blue's trying to slander me or whatever with these pictures that we did when we went to do a test? Blue's talking about Blackpool Tower 14 miles in the distance away from the actual test that we were doing. Stop talking about clouds.
Oh, it's no attempt to slander you, Bill. I'm just looking at your picture. That's all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know, but you're trying to do something that isn't actually used within the manuals, even though you've had a few descriptions of different products there. You're going to pretend that 14 miles in the distance that people survey and can get sort of these measurement readings, which is ridiculous, Blue.
Am I imagining that that's Blackpool Tower? Is it or is it not?
That's definitely Blackpool Tower, yes. Blue.
There you go. Am I imagining that the top of the Blackpool Tower is about 519 feet, and the point where your stadia tick is there, the top one, is about 440 feet?
I wouldn't have a clue, but I would
level.
never do that sort of ridiculous things.
Well, you can get the drawings.
And we're there looking at the measuring rod, showing
it.
people what you can read on the measuring rod.
And do you
why,
disagree?
The reason why you don't go beyond these limits of the operating ranges of the tool. That's exactly why we were doing it.
Well, there's no operating range to the tool. We've already established that.
There is. That's exactly why we put Blackpool Tower in the background.
If you're doing differential leveling, that's another thing, but that's not what we're doing here. We're
showing the optical limits of an auto level and why you don't look beyond that, Blue.
Like your crosshair there is a horizontal plane of reference, and it extends infinitely out into the distance. So would you disagree?
Trying to give a reason.
Would you disagree that the crosshair is sitting at about somewhere between 90 and 100 feet above sea level, based on the height of that building?
It's the crosshair in the eyepiece of the auto level, Blue.
Yeah, but it's lined up with about, I'd say 95 feet or so.
Within the operating ranges
more or less
of the tool, Blue.
And sea level's down below that somewhere, plus or minus. Who knows exactly where it is? I can't make it out from the picture, but I don't really care about that. And I'll tell you why. Because we've got 2 points there. One is the upper tick, stadia tick, that's there at about 440 feet. And the roof line of that building, which is about 100 feet. We can verify all of that. That's quite easy to find. Now, that's interesting because if we subtract the 100 feet from the 440 feet, we know that distance is about 340 feet, don't we? And that is from the upper stadia tick to the crosshair. That means another 340 feet down to the lower stadia tick.
At what distance would it not match a water level, Blue? Like let's say it matches the water level perfect horizontally over 100 meters.
Blue, you
And then-
want to say my measuring rod's 340 feet?
No, I'm saying
It
Blackpool
looks
Tower.
about 1.5 meters or something.
At Blackpool Tower.
No,
Bill.
he's
You're
saying
not
you're
equating a
340
meter and a
feet.
half with 340. I'm 340 feet tall.
No, you're not.
No way, Blue. I'm not
Don't be
that
silly,
big.
Bill.
I mean, I may
You're
seem
being
like
silly.
big
You're
of
just being silly.
stature and all of that sort
You're
of thing.
just
But
being
there's no
silly.
way I'm 340 feet.
340 feet pertains to 2 points on that building. That's all.
I think you're 100 feet on his scale.
It's 200. It's 2
100
points
feet
on
above
that
sea level.
structure.
How can you have 340 feet and then 100 feet?
Okay,
Like,
are
how
you
does
saying
that
Blackpool
even
Tower?
work, Blue?
Are you saying Blackpool
See,
Tower is
I'm
only
my
3 feet
feet
tall?
are
Bill?
like
Is that what you're saying?
240 feet below sea level.
Okay, so how tall is Blackpool Tower again?
Sure, you
Are you saying it's only 6 feet
Did
tall?
Cheeky help you with these numbers?
Blackpool Tower
But if
doesn't
you
look
are
like it's
wearing a
much
hat, so
taller
you
than
must
you
be
are.
quite
So
tall.
what is it? 6 feet tall? Is that how tall Blackpool is? I'm telling you, the height between the marks delineated
I'd say
by
that's
the
like this, Blue.
You
crosshair.
got confused.
Shut up for
I
a
think
second.
you've
Let me
got
finish.
confused there.
I'm saying that the distance between the point on that tower delineated by the crosshair and the upper stadia tick is 340 feet. That
I'd
means-
ask him like this, Blue. At what point?
No, Brian,
is
Brian,
crosshair-
please. Brian.
At what point of the crosshair is not horizontal?
That
That'd
means.
be the way I'd ask it, if I was
Crosshairs are
Blue.
about half a fucking inch away from your eyes.
Well, look at this. This is amazing, Bill.
Right, Blue.
That's about 680 feet.
Yeah, I know you. But
From
that's
upper-
not
from the-
680 feet, is it?
Between the stadium marks,
You've
if that
got lost,
if the
Blue. You
distance
don't
of the
know
tower,
what
do
you're
you know
doing anymore.
Well, okay, here's the
Who's
problem.
advised you to do
I don't
this?
think you understand what stadium marks are, do you?
I think you've
probably never used
absolutely
them, have you?
messed up there, Blue. See the
See,
measuring
see,
rod.
stadium marks are used for tachymetric distance estimation. That's what you use them for.
Yes.
If you know what they are. You know what do you know what the constant is for your
You need
for
the
your auto
measuring
level?
rod, Blue.
No, you don't. Do you
The
know
measuring
what the,
rod.
No, he
is a
doesn't believe in the measuring
constituent
rod.
Part
No,
of this
not necessarily. You just need to
operating
know-
procedure.
You simply
Yes.
need to know a verified
1 to 100,
distance.
Blue.
That's all.
It don't have to be a measuring rod. It could be a tape measure. It could be a freaking story pole.
Right.
It could be anything that you know the height of. Anything.
No, Blue.
Yes, Bev. Sorry. And 680 feet times
need
the 100
The
times
auto level, the
your
tripod,
factor is
and
100
the
is
measuring
68,000
rod.
feet. And
Three
68,000 feet
constituent
is
parts.
12.9 miles. Imagine that, Bev. I can use the stadium marks and that Blackpool Tower in the background to tell you how far away you were. The auto level was about 12.9 miles away. Now, this is not very precise because we are guessing a bit at
using your
exactly what point on the
imagination.
tower is
These
and exactly
aren't
at what
standard
point on that
surveying
building it is at the
procedures.
crosshairs. But
This is globe surveying.
it
Blue.
absolutely proves that your instrument is very good and very accurate.
You're just imagining things.
it's
You're
amazing.
not living in reality, Blue.
It is absolutely amazing.
Blue. If you put your story pole at Skunk Bay and up in the mountains, you'd see it just varying back and forth. According to you, it's moving up and down miles and miles, right? You're trying to look off in the distance with an auto level.
I'm looking at something 300. I'm sorry. I'm looking at Blackpool Tower, which is 519 feet documented in height. We know how tall it is. And we can pick various points off of it and estimate the distance between those, the height of those, between those points. Just like I've done here.
Are you really thinking there's 340 feet tall? Me?
No, I think the tower is. I think the tower, that section of the tower, where the upper
shouldn't
stadia
be
tick
looking
mark
at
is,
the tower,
down to the
Blue.
roof of that building, is about
Have you not
340
seen me
feet,
stood
Biff.
there with the
That's what
measuring
I
rod?
think. Are you saying it isn't?
And you see me stood there with a measuring
I'm not looking
rod,
at you.
Blue.
I'm looking at Blackpool Tower.
I know. That's hilarious. That's the funny thing about it. That's exactly
That's
why
what's so
we put
brilliant
Blackpool
about
Tower
this.
there.
You absolutely
Yeah,
showed us
because you
something.
should be looking at the measuring rod, Blue.
Oh,
We're
I'm like-
using an auto level.
Okay.
We just used Blackpool Tower as a
He's
good
not
nice
using the
backdrop.
tool the way it was designed. Doing whatever gimmicks he wants to do with the tool.
Well, it's not a gimmick. It's
It's
perfectly
a gimmick.
legitimate.
You don't understand optics if you don't
perfectly
understand that
legitimate.
it doesn't work
Well,
beyond reading the story pole. And now laugh it off. You just
Well,
Blue, you're
no,
laughing,
silly.
bro, but you're laughing, Blue. But look,
I
what if we
will.
put Skunk Bay
This
to
is
an auto
good,
level?
Blue, because we
It's funny.
can do this. We've got all of the stuff set up. We've done all of the testing. We can go out there and put a camera on an auto level and go back out there and do it again.
You absolutely
Everyone can be sat in here,
Yeah, I know
right?
that.
And look and see what's on the auto level. We're not hiding anything.
I know you can.
Blue, if we looked at
I know
Skunk
you
Bay to an auto
No.
level up close, it would be accurate.
If it-
No matter, even with all the refraction going on in the distance, the up close 100 meters away would be
Brian, we've
spot
got
on
this.
accurate,
We've
right?
got Blackpool on this page, right? Everybody else can see it. Blackpool Tower, Blue's doing a presentation. It's not Skunk Bay.
I know, but he's showing that. I mean, I'm trying to defend what we are actually seeing.
I'd like to get through it because Blue's misrepresenting me because we went out there and did a test.
I'm not
Blue's
misrepresenting
completely
anybody, Bill.
ignoring me and the measuring rod.
Yeah, I am.
Well, I
I'm
showed you
using your
this. That's a
picture,
question
Biv.
for
I
both
just
of y'all.
used your picture. That's all.
I got a question for Blue and Bev. Okay, at what point are the crosshairs not lining up with horizontal and don't match the water level?
Don't know. We've not got that far, Brian. But we have got tests to be able to do that. But first off,
But
we
we
need
with
to
that.
establish that a water level is a tool for establishing a horizontal plane. If we don't do that first, nothing counts. Nothing matters.
And we got some an interesting test right here, accidentally. I know you didn't mean to do this, but it is a way of looking at something, and it's amazing, isn't it? We can estimate that the distance 13 miles away is about 680 feet at that tower
So
between
you
the
think that
stadium
proves
marks.
Earth curve, right? Blue, you think that
Well,
proves
just hold
Earth
on.
curve?
Just hold on a minute. We haven't proven anything yet.
There's no
I'm just-
estimating
what I've
in
shown.
differential leveling.
Well, I'm not differential leveling now, am I?
Then you're not. Then put the tool away.
I'm not.
Go
I'm not-
go get yourself a scope and just look at shit.
Can we be honest to everybody here, Blue? Can we be honest, right, with everybody here?
I'm being very honest.
My
Bill.
position, yes, my position, I will be honest. My position is that level is a straight line on a horizontal plane.
And my
And
position
your
is-
position
I'll
is
say what
different.
mine is. Yeah.
Go on.
My position is level is not horizontal.
That's just a knot.
Not.
Okay. So, like,
Level
sloping?
is not horizontal.
So it could be a slope then.
Level is a curved line, is what it is.
Curve, right. Okay, that's a little bit
Okay.
more specific.
All right.
Okay.
But horizontal is still
But-
straight.
Yeah,
Even
horizontal's nice and straight. But look, here's the curious part. We do all of these things and we come up with your numbers. You said you were 13 miles away. The stadium marks on your instrument say you were 13 miles away.
So that,
I'd say that works pretty
tool
good.
there, the auto level, is establishing a horizontal.
Yeah, it is.
But you don't think that's level.
No, that's
so
not level.
Where is the level in that picture?
Oh, it's below that point. I'll show you here in a second. Let's see. That's what we see, right?
In your world,
But
it
we
goes
know
up,
that-
right?
but
Level
we
goes
know
up and then back down.
Well, yeah, we could. So on the measuring rod, let's say it's reading 1.5 meters, right?
I'm not looking
And
at the
then
measuring
you're
rod.
going to say there's a curvature.
No, I'm not looking at the measuring rod at all. I'm saying this is what we should see, right?
What?
Yeah, but
No, man.
picture
You
I'm
don't
showing
even
you right
understand
now.
what the tools use.
One
This
on the
is what-
left is from the beach
This is what we should
outside
see.
at Blackpool. No, it's not.
This is
It's
what
like
we should see. Yeah.
completely different perspective.
Your
Blue.
stood your
Blue.
auto level is
Blue,
stood
no,
what?
no,
5
Blue.
feet off the beach.
Blue.
Your water
Blue,
level has
please.
stood what, Bev?
No,
5 feet off the
there is
beach?
about 1 mile of buildings before you get to Blackpool Tower in the picture that you're looking at before. That picture is a picture of the front of Blackpool Tower, which isn't where Blackpool Tower is. It's
The
not.
highest-
You can't get a picture from Southport of Blackpool Tower's front. It's
No,
not
I know
possible.
that. I know that, Bev. I realize you can't
So
do
there's
that.
one. There's what
I
you've
realize
got
you
here.
can't do
You've
that.
got
But
Southport
that
Beach.
building
You've
is
got
the tallest
Ainsdale
building.
Beach, right? Blue. Then you've got
That building you're looking at there.
Preston Port. There's a channel
This
where
one right
boats
here.
can go in. Then you've got Lytham St Anne's front there, and then you've got a mile's worth of buildings between St
little
Anne's,
bit
Lytham St
right
Anne's,
there
and
is
where
this little
Blackpool
bit
Tower
right
is.
here.
Yes.
And you see, this is
miles
this
away.
roof line, and that's this roof line here. And all these buildings that you're talking about are lower than this one. So that's the highest thing we're seeing. That's the thing that's blocking the bottom of Blackpool,
That's looking
of the
from the
tower
front
itself.
of Blackpool Tower.
This is, you're looking at it from this direction, where my little hand is right there.
Hey, Blue.
That's where you're
Blue,
looking
it
at
says
from.
not
So-
past 100 meters because, and this is the answer to the question. The answer is past 100 meters that the auto levels crosshairs are not going to line up with horizontal because of whatever you want to call it. But look, you can't shoot way off in the distance. It specifically tells you not to. So if you're trying
Sure
to
you
use
can.
the crosshairs lining up on Blackpool Tower, when the booklet says
Sure you
not to because it's not horizontal.
Sure you can, Brian. The
What are you
accuracy
talking about?
doesn't, the
You're not
angular accuracy of the auto level doesn't change with distance.
Well, then why
It
would it say
can't.
that then, Blue? Why
Where
would
does
it
it say?
say that?
What says
Why
it?
would it say
I
that
don't
it's
know
not
what you're
accurate?
referencing, Brian. I don't know
No,
what you're referencing.
well, let's say we know
Number
this.
of
If
full
for meters, it's
But-
not accurate.
All right, look. The fact is, that's what you ought to see, and that's not what we see. We don't see it at
Right,
all.
wait, if it's Earth curve, then it'd still be accurate, right? If the Earth is curving, then it would still be accurate, right?
Oops. What did I just do? Let me see. I think
You're saying that it's not. I mean, they're telling you it's not accurate past 100 meters. The booklet, the manufacturers, but you're saying that it is, and we can measure Earth curve. I mean, if it's accurate, then why are they saying it's not accurate?
Blue's already said he's not looking at the measuring rod.
not looking at it. Don't care about
Yeah.
the measuring rod. I'm not looking at that. I'm looking at the tower.
That's one of the constituent
Well,
parts of an
here's the
auto
question.
level.
Here was the question. Is the instrument accuracy a problem? Now, for an auto level with a measurement accuracy of 1/8 of an inch at 150 feet, and that's a really shitty
Measuring
auto level.
rod.
That's
The
a shitty one.
measuring rod.
That's one with a
measuring
like
rod.
with a 24x optic on it. 1/8 inch at 150 feet over 13 miles. The accuracy of it then becomes 0.125 times 5280 per mile times 13 miles divided by 150 feet. The accuracy at 13 miles of that auto level is 57.2 inches, or about 5 feet.
Then why are they saying not
But-
to do it past 100
but-
meters then, Blue? Why?
But
Because you need the measuring rod.
But a wonderful instrument like Bev
Bev,
has,
I was
and it's
asking
an excellent
Blue.
instrument.
I know the answer, Bev. I was
an
asking
excellent
Blue, man.
instrument.
The fuck,
And
Bev?
Gotta
Bev's-
stop
Bev's
ignoring the
instrument-
measuring rod.
Bev's instrument is like 16th
Stop
of an inch,
ignoring the
0.0625
measuring rod.
times 5,280 times 13 divided by 250. Your instrument, Bev, will only be off about 17 inches at 13 miles. How about that?
That's fucking hilarious.
That's the way it works. Sorry.
So it's accurate all the way up to the miles, basically.
Yeah.
So why
If you-
why did they
now-
say not to?
Now,
to,
of course,
use it
of course,
less than 100 feet?
of course, you don't have a
Brilliant.
measure. Of course,
Okay,
you don't have a measuring
brilliant.
rod.
Let's go with that. It's accurate up to that. So that picture there shows what the Blackpool Tower. There's a drop, is there?
Yeah.
Okay. Of how much drop?
Well, we're about to get to that. The roof of the building is at 100 feet above sea level. The distance to Blackpool is about 13 miles. Over that distance, the drop at 8 inches per mile squared is 112.7 feet.
What about the
That's how
cloud in the
much drop.
background, Blue? You gonna analyze
I'm
that
worried
too,
about.
bud?
I'm worried about the cloud. I'm worried about it because I don't know how big the cloud is, and I don't know how far away the cloud is. And I
You
can't
know,
even
you know,
figure out how
cumulus
far away
clouds
the
can't form
cloud is.
under 1 mile, right?
And I
They
can't even
form
figure
under
out how
1
far
mile.
it is, where
Come
it
on,
is
Brian,
because
forget
I don't
about
know the
clouds
size of it.
now, please, man.
So 112.7 feet would be the actual geometric drop But we got a problem. We've got refraction involved, and refraction is going to reduce that amount of drop. It always does. When you take refraction into account, the drop ought to be about 94 feet. Now that is, in fact, exactly what we're seeing. That's about how much drop you see there. Stick it in Walter Bisland's curve calculator.
You mean 7/6R?
Yeah.
So light knows the size of the Earth now.
For standard refraction, that's just based on standard refraction, and it worked out quite well. This is run simply with standard refraction, and you see
so it's
that
flattening out your globe a little bit.
The drop's about 94 feet.
Wait, I'm sorry, Blue. Brian, Blue's trying to give a presentation here. This isn't the way we act. Give him space. This is groundbreaking stuff.
Oh, I don't think that's true, but yeah.
It is. What you're doing is you're taking a picture from somebody. You're ignoring.
Hey, give us presentation, Bev.
You're ignoring the presentation. There you go.
So there's
You're ignoring what we were actually doing, right? You're ignoring what we went there for.
Yeah, I'm using the picture.
And you're looking in beyond the limits of the actual tool.
No, I'm not looking beyond the limits. There are no limits to the tool. We've already established that. There's no maximum specified. So that's what Bisland's calculator says.
I'd say that there is definitely limits, Blue.
At standard refraction, 7/6R. Let's make refraction really bad. How about this one? I ran it. Look at the coefficient of refraction I've got down here now. Instead of 0.17, I've got 0.5. Strong refraction. That doesn't look like a day that had strong refraction, but okay. You still have 57 feet of drop, 56 feet of drop. That's not what that's what we're seeing.
So you're saying there's an elevation drop?
I'm saying that, what do you mean, an elevation drop?
Well, as I say, the auto level, the tool, establishes a horizontal plane, and any change in vertical from that will be classed as an elevation change.
It's not an elevation change. It's a drop from horizontal.
That's what the tool does, Blue. That's what an auto level does.
So it establishes a horizontal, and the building in the distance, this being Blackpool, has dropped 95 feet.
On the measuring rod.
95 feet from the horizontal.
No, through differential leveling, you get to measure the measuring rod, and then each point has a point of equal elevation.
Well, that's right, because differential leveling is designed to remove Earth curvature. That's why we do it. When you shoot equal foresights and backsights, it washes out Earth curvature. It eliminates refraction. It even eliminates culmination inaccuracy. You know that, right?
It uses parallel horizontals, differential leveling.
Yeah, equal foresights and backsights eliminate errors resulting from refraction, resulting from Earth curvature, or resulting from an instrument problem in culmination.
No, parallel horizontals to measure elevation changes.
So that's how it actually works.
Yeah. Establishing parallel horizontals to establish a vertical change from that horizontal. And that is what we consider an elevation change.
No, that's what you consider. That is not an elevation change. You can consider it that way because it fits your narrative, but that's not what I say. That is not a change in elevation. It is definitely not a change in elevation.
From the tool, the auto level, yes. A change in that is what we call a change in elevation.
No, that's what you call it. Nobody else does, but that's what you call it. Now that's up to you. You can. That's okay. We were talking about free speech earlier. Speech is free. You're perfectly free to say that, but that is not an elevation change. That is a change, a drop from horizontal. That is a deviation from horizontal. That's a better way to say it.
An elevation change.
Well, how do we go about explaining this then? Is the auto level, was it improperly adjusted or something? Did you set it up right?
You don't look that far with the auto level. You should be looking at the measuring rod and saying, I can't even read that number, so that's obviously out of range.
So
that's what you should be saying, Blue.
Did you set the thing up right, or?
You're not even looking at the measuring rod, Blue.
I assume
you're
did.
ignoring
No, I'm looking at Blackpool Tower. I don't care about the measuring rod.
Yeah, then you're not using the. I don't know how many times we gotta say this. You're trying to hammer a fucking screw, bro.
Well, are the elevations in that
Do
picture
you,
in the distance?
do you try to hammer screws?
Not reported.
No, Blue.
Correctly?
Give me a second, Blue. Do you use a hammer when trying to screw a screw into a board? Do you use a hammer?
No.
Well, that's what you're doing right now.
No, that's not what I'm doing.
With the auto level. That's exactly what you're doing with the auto level.
That's not what I'm doing.
100%. You can say no, but
Again.
tell me how you're not. Tell me how you're not.
I'm using an auto level to do what an auto level does, which is establish a horizontal
and what
plane
does it
of
do?
reference. It establishes a horizontal plane of reference.
You got a guy 14 miles away marking your horizontal?
Don't need it marking. I've got a documented
not
tower
measuring.
out there, and I know
you're
the
not
elevations
measuring.
of that tower.
Good job, Blue. See
It
now.
works perfectly. So if the elevations and distances are correct, what else is doing? Is it severe refraction? I just showed you. Severe refraction doesn't get rid of the problem. Gets rid of a part of it, but doesn't get rid of all of it. Does that tower periodically sink into the freaking ocean? That doesn't seem to be reasonable either. How about this?
Don't use it over
Maybe
those
level isn't horizontal after all. Maybe that bit on the left that I'm pointing at is level, and maybe those lines I drew on the right side are horizontal, and maybe the other bits in the center are the verticals. Maybe that's the answer.
Amazing, Blue. Do you really think that?
Absolutely, I do.
We all think that, Bob.
Yeah, that's pretty astonishing.
Definitely think differently.
Not me.
This is what the whole world thinks.
I definitely don't. Sorry.
Don't speak for the whole world. Don't even try.
So again, it was a brilliant thing to do, Bill, and I thank you so much for doing that. That picture was absolutely outstanding.
Now when we look back, the reason we put Blackpool Tower in the back, it all seems worth it. Thank you.
Oh yeah, do it again. I wish you would do it again. It would be wonderful if you could do that half a dozen times.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see how it changes, because refraction is going to change it. So
get the disco kicking on the level. Let's get it on. Let's get it going.
It doesn't look like there was a lot of refraction that day, but I don't know. It's hard to say. So if you get it under different conditions, you could make some judgments about what's going on there.
The measuring rod, Blue. We'll show everybody, right?
Oh, we don't care about that.
You need to look at the measuring rod when using an auto level. It's how important the measuring rod is as a part of the tool as a whole.
Especially if you're going to throw in things like standard refraction. That's bizarre because you have to accept minimum if you're going to accept standard. And of course, we work in the most minimum conditions that you call impossible.
Over the ranges that you use an auto level, you don't need to bring in refraction at all, ever.
Well, actually, you do. And I showed you that in the documentation from the Oceanographic Center.
Mm-hmm.
You actually do need to consider it.
Those documents clearly said that refraction was an issue that needed to be accounted for.
I've never accounted for it. But yeah, again, I only look over, say 100 meters. That's
yeah, they say only go 100 meters because of the refraction.
Yeah, they know what happens to, light when you look at
curvature.
Like,
at 100 meters curvature, it makes a millimeter difference. That's all.
In the air,
less than that. So
air doesn't curve, does it, Blue?
Hmm?
Air doesn't curve.
Does it? Yeah. Do you think air has a shape, Biff?
So that's what I was asking you. When you're looking in the distance, can you say that air curves? Because you're not looking at the ground. You're not looking at Earth curvature. If you're looking in the distance, you're looking through the air. Do you think that curves?
I don't know how to respond to that.
Mm-hmm.
I really don't.
It's just a malformed question.
Do I think the
You
air
mean a
curves?
question you can't answer? Yeah. Do you think the
Could
air...
you formulate that question better?
I don't know what question you're trying to ask.
Is there a curvature rate of air?
Is there a curvature rate of the atmosphere? Well, of course.
It conforms to the surface of the Earth, I guess.
What's the curvature rate?
Like any gas, it conforms to what's containing it. In this case, it's gravity, and it's pretty consistent.
So air
Not
does
totally,
have a curvature rate. Nice.
Well, but that's just such a screwed up question. There's no
It sure is. It sure is.
reasonable way to answer it.
Would it be the same curvature rate as level?
What?
Would it be the same curvature rate as level? Because you also have level curving.
Well, the atmosphere's staying attached to the ball we live on, isn't it?
Yeah. So basically, when we
So if
we
we're on a
say,
ball
or when
and the
you
ball
say
is curving,
Earth curvature,
the air attached to the ball is curving like the ball is, isn't it?
Okay, right. So because when you say level curves or Earth curves, you actually mean the water level curves, don't
Yeah,
you?
the water
So
level curves,
therefore, level curves.
Yeah, it does.
And that curvature rate is mimicked by the air.
Well, I guess so.
Okay.
It doesn't. I don't find any vacuum areas down next to the Earth anyplace.
Well, and
So when you say Earth curvature, you're really saying the curvature of level.
Well, yeah.
He's got it.
Level is defined as conforming to the curvature of the Earth. That's the definition.
No, this is the second
That's
entry.
preposterous.
Second entry in
Third.
internet version of some dictionary only.
It's people are allowed to use words how they wish.
There's a curvature rate of the liquid parts of the Earth's surface.
Yeah,
And just a few before, it says the liquid parts of water have a horizontal condition.
Yeah, but
So
people,
there is no curvature to a horizontal.
But
Therefore, conforming to the curvature of the liquid parts of the Earth's surface is horizontal, zero, no curve.
Bev, people are allowed to use
Well,
words
it's
how
not
they
wrong,
wish.
is it?
People
to say
are
that
allowed.
it conforms to zero curvature.
Bev, people are allowed to use words how they wish.
Not with words like level.
No, not
Yes,
in
they are.
science. No,
Yes,
absolutely
you
not.
are. That's
Not at all.
literally what you do in science. And in geodetic surveying, in that context, in that discipline, level is defined as conforming to the curvature of the Earth.
This definition is contradicting the entry which is just before that.
Yeah, but people get to
Contradicting.
use the word. People get to use words how they want to.
No get.
No, they do.
Maybe you can get to use, but normal people cannot get to use
Besides-
contradictory definitions.
Paper organist, are you familiar with the term jargon?
Oh, come on.
No.
We're not
No.
having diletheism in words around here because people decide
the
they
thing is-
want to define them differently.
Scientific
It's not a
community.
definition problem anyway. It's not. It's about being stationary or moving. You can only define level as being on.
That's interesting, isn't it? They seem to be getting a little upset here. Yeah, let's go back and listen some more.
Horizontal thing. I'm calling now the lateral, like force the light instead of force the line. I'm calling it the lateral test because it's the end of refraction argument. Either it doesn't matter that we're seeing it or not through what medium, through what amount of refraction. Once we drag it across our field of view, curvature of the Earth has to appear. All I got to do is have pixel strength. We all agree on this, so we can stop arguing about refraction. I'll get out there and prove it, or someone else will. We're gonna look at a line on this Earth and analyze it.
let's get back to reality. We're talking about a person using a tool without one of the intended, absolutely necessary pieces of that tool, and then claiming he did a measurement. That is absolutely, totally ridiculous. Sorry, Blue. Tool abuse.
Well, I'm sorry
What's
you're
wrong?
upset about it, but
What did he do wrong? Did he set up the
It's
auto?
appalling.
it's the way it works.
It's appalling because if you're not looking at the numbers on the stick, you're not using the tool properly. I don't understand why you guys don't get that.
That's who?
Or just choose to ignore it, I should say, because you're disingenuous pricks.
Where does it say that?
Blue told you. Brenda, why are you even here? I mean, you have no clue
know how the
about
tool
anything. You're just here to make trouble. The tool is designed for 100 yards. End of story. Anything beyond that is fantasy.
You can't read the numbers.
Blue showed you it has no limit.
No.
He showed
Blue didn't show
you're an
that.
idiot.
Blue doesn't
You have no
understand
part in this
nothing.
conversation.
It's like you took a 22 and you're gonna tell me you're gonna shoot it 2 miles away, and I'm gonna tell you, listen, you
He's
need at
taking
least
a picture of somebody else's and then doing something with it. Like a bit like what Ranty did.
Can I ask you a quick question?
Obsessed with Blackpool Tower.
Is the reason why you can't use it over 100 meters because you cannot see the measurements on the measuring stick? Is that the position you're taking?
Yeah, a measuring rod is a vital part of the tool.
So if I were
tool is for measuring elevation.
If I were to take a spotting scope, that would extend it beyond 100 meters, would it not? If I had a more powerful telescope or a more powerful viewing instrument.
Very good. Very good.
Yeah. What are you doing with your spotter scope? Are you looking at the measuring rod? With
you're the only one that thought of that, you think, right?
Now, wait a minute.
You're the genius.
Have you ever seen a digital one? Have you ever seen a digital auto level? Any of you? Anybody?
I have not.
They make digital auto levels, and the stick is not just a stick. It's got barcodes on it. And the auto level itself reads those barcodes instead of you trying to read it with your eye. And those are considerably more accurate than just a regular auto level or a dumpy level.
Over 13 miles, Blue.
All right. Yeah. So, how far away do you have to shoot that thing?
But you're missing the entire point. All we need to know is a verifiable.
What's the distance with your digital
distance that we're looking over? That's all we need to know.
It seems like you're pimping up these tools. I hope nobody here is
and then forgetting how they work.
Be a budding surveyor and thinking, well, I can measure elevations over 13 miles. Blue marble science taught me I could.
Well, you certainly can tell.
I heard him say it on Try Thinking.
You can certainly see the curvature of the Earth over 13 miles.
Globe surveying over.
This is great
from Southport to Blackpool.
Yeah, if you put that same building in the middle of Lake Pontchartrain at the center of the bridge, you'd see the same picture. It's beautiful. I love it, and I can't tell you how much I want to thank you for doing that work, Bev.
Yeah, that's really great. I hope you did really well.
I just want to thank you too. Bev. Thanks, Bev. You helped to convert Ranty to being a globe earther. Thank you.
No. Ranty got his picture already. No, Ranty had already stared at that picture for over 200 hours.
And Ranty doesn't believe anything about the Earth. It's just a con. He conned you all. He conned you all into believing that he's a glober now, but he did it just for his business, for his, because, you can't go around being a YouTuber and saying you're a flat earther. So he just dropped it just so he can further his career. That's all. He fooled you all.
Well, he had huge success afterwards, especially with the trial thing. That was
3 Bitcoin.
It was great.
Yeah.
I feel really great.
He did much better than he did when he was pretending to be a flat earther.
That's right.
I don't think he was pretending. I think he genuinely did believe that the Earth was flat, and then he had evidence that proved that he was wrong, and he was willing to change his mind. Are you
Didn't have
willing to?
evidence. He had a picture that a child took. What a pathetic story.
I don't think you should say that about Bev.
Yeah, shout out John for £5 horizontal. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it so much.
It's yours.
Definitely not a picture that I've been staring at for 200 hours.
Yeah,
Well, do you know Ranty, how do you know Ranty changed his mind?
Because he said so.
It was a financial
Oh,
decision, Brenda.
You trust what people say, do you, Brenda?
Generally, yeah.
So when I say I'm not a flat earther,
because I have other statements from you saying that you are
different.
Okay, where's your champion Ranty now? Where is he championing the ball? Where is he? I haven't seen him in any debates championing the ball. What happened?
I don't follow him because I don't follow his. I don't follow contemporary events, so I don't know.
So he's doing nothing about the ball, right? So I was right. He just ditched the flat Earth so he can further his career. Correct, Brenda? It appears that way, anyway.
Well, so that you're just impugning intentions to him. You don't know.
Well, just like you impugning that he's a baller now, right?
Because he says so. Because he says so.
Okay, so why isn't he championing the cause? You're the guy that you brought up now that you just championed. Why did he leave the scene?
Probably got bored. It's pretty boring. It's pretty much the same argument for the last 7 years.
No, he's smart. He conned people like you and the ballers into believing, into accepting him into the fold. Now he got rid of the flat Earth moniker, and now he's making money. Shout out Ranty, man. Good for him.
Do you have any evidence of that? That was his motivation?
No, I just look at things the way they unfold.
So you're maligning the man.
No, I'm championing him. I just shouted him out. I wish him the best. He made 3 Bitcoin.
Flat earther, and then his channel for a fairly short time was, I was a flat earther. Let me tell you how the flat earth mind works. He wasn't getting a lot of traction from that, and so he went into the whole, he did a short video on the depth thing and got 1 million fucking views.
Yeah, good for him, man. He got rid of the moniker, the flat earth moniker, smart man. He convinced the ballers that was part of the task. He had to convince you, so then the YouTube community can accept him again, and he's making money. He fooled you guys, man. I tip my hat to Ranty. I really do.
That's your narrative.
Make no mistake,
Yeah,
Ranty
all
is
mine.
a piece of shit.
That's your narrative, because that's just your tears, your hot purple tears.
yeah, if you say that, everybody's own opinions here, just opinions.
It's my opinion. Yeah.
No need to get upset about anybody's opinions.
I think that Ranty is.
You have opinions of people too, Brenda, that other people may not agree with. That's fine.
I think that Ranty,
everybody's allowed their own opinions, Brenda.
I think that Ranty is the person in the best position to know why he does something, and he has said he changed his opinion because of the evidence.
You see, he conned you. He conned you, man.
Don't have any
5 years of doing flat Earth videos and one picture turned him. You see how he conned you? Now he's advancing his
200
career
hours
because of people like you. Thank you, Brenda.
You can't know that. You don't know what he thinks.
I know what I see. I could be wrong.
Yeah, you just told us what he thinks.
Why
It's
do you
just
think,
my opinion,
why do you think
Brenda.
we did that test there with the Blackpool Tower in the background?
Of the two people,
it was just a pity there was no mountains in the background as well. Otherwise, Blue would have gone that far. He wouldn't have been looking at Blackpool Tower. He'd have been looking at the mountains.
Yeah. Hey, Brenda, how many Bitcoins did you make last week?
I don't invest in Bitcoin. That's all a scam.
Not invest. He made the money selling the court after convincing people like you that he's no longer a flat earther. He got rid of the moniker, smart businessman, and now he's making money. Well, he was then. I don't know now. See how it works?
No, of the two people, you, SE Montreal, or Ranty.
Oh, I saw you on Gerrans as well, Brenda. You did well on that, didn't you?
The person who is best able to know why he changed his mind would be Ranty and not SE Montreal.
Agreed. But he can lie and con people like you, right?
You would have to prove that. You would have to prove that.
I'm just giving you my opinion. I don't have to prove anything. The fact of the
no,
matter is,
you do. Otherwise, it's just your uninformed opinion.
yeah, I'll give you that.
You don't even know what
My
poop
uninformed
is.
opinion. You happy, Brenda? But he did con you, though. He conned all of you guys to believing him, to taking him back into the fold, that he's a baller.
That's
He
your
actually
claim.
made you guys believe it.
That's your claim for which you have no evidence, and he says otherwise.
Yeah, it's my claim.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see how well he's been accepted because Brenda's now like full on defending Brandt.
Yeah.
He's like
Ranty,
properly been accepted.
I
It's
don't
like,
even
come
follow
on in, like you one of the guys now.
follow him. I don't follow him. He does apparently he does stuff like popular trials and stuff like that. It doesn't interest me. I don't care what Johnny Depp is doing.
He made 90 grand, Brenda, thanks to people like you taking him back into the fold. Shout out Randy. He's fucking smart. He's a smart dude.
Good for him. Good for him. I hope he has all the success.
Me too. I wish him luck.
I detect very bitterness in there. That seems
Not at all. I'm not, and I swear I have zero bitterness in the man. He did what he had to do. He made a business decision because flat Earth is like a bad moniker. Look, the two presidents even said it, right? So it's like a derogatory term, right? It's like using the N-word. So he's a smart businessman. He knew he wasn't going to get anywhere with flat Earth. So he knew he had to know, what am I going to do now? So now I got to convince these bozos that I'm a baller again. They're going to take me in, and then I'm going to go make some money.
That's true. Apparently, flat Earth is dying. It's just a handful of people on the internet. That's about it.
That's what you got out of that? That's the...
It is
right.
dying. It is dying. There's just not very many people following flat Earth anymore.
Well, certainly they're not going to make 3 Bitcoins on a flat
There
Earth
also
thing.
isn't shit to follow. That's the real problem. I mean, there isn't anywhere to meet for me to invite people to.
There's
So-
Nathan Oakley, Globebusters, Jeranism,
What
Dirt.
about? I mean, that's 6 years ago. What about today when I go out in the street? What should I invite people to? What do I got?
I wouldn't know. I think it would depend on where you are. I think there might be places in somewhere.
I want you to know it's not dying. The fervor.
Brenda will know all the best. She was
The
just about to tell you
fervor-
all the best hangout spots for flat earthers.
The fervor of the wave that you got caught up in is growing, is outgrowing their fervor. Just like people that are born agains. That we've done our mission, and there's a lot of new people that come around, and they're going to be all excited, want to buy their T-shirts and join clubs and shit.
I don't. Born
Hang
again.
on. And I'd like to say, no, Brenda, give me a second. I would just like to say, I'm not allowed to say I'm a flat earther anymore around here, but I am. And I don't care. But the thing is,
Who's told you
Flat
you're not
Earth-
allowed to say you're a flat earther?
Everyone.
no, okay.
all the time.
Nobody said
Rule
I'm not
number
allowed
2,
to call.
you're not allowed to say you're not allowed to say.
I don't,
Yeah.
I don't need to be
Anyways,
attached to
I
Globo.
am a flat earther. I got trained. Sorry, I'll be back.
Yeah, I'd just like to say that nobody told him he can't say he's a flat earther.
Nobody told me
Anybody
I
can
can't.
say whatever they want about themselves.
Well, he'd be ridiculous if he did, but I got you back, Rob.
It's just tough to be
Fucking
attached
trained.
to 5 years. It's tough. It's tough to be attached to other people's actions permanently. It's hard. Jaron.
I would just like, okay, now that the train's gone, I would just like to say, as a flat earther, this is the best place to hang out.
I agree.
Well, what about 24/7?
Yeah, what happened? Did they go down today?
I don't think you heard me, did you?
I have no clue. I don't.
As a flat earther, this is the best place to be.
Careful what you say, bro. You might get muted. I just came off mute.
We are not flat earthers here. Nobody's a flat earther. Earth is
So
not
I
obvious.
am. But
So
but technically, it's not flat. I just
We
like to be
respect
called a flat
flat
earther.
earthers. We
That's the whole
respect
point.
flat earthers.
Yeah. So just
And we
This is not a flat Earth server or channel. Let me be clear.
Yeah,
I
but
just
we're
don't
not
get-
anti-flat earther either. Let's make that.
Yeah, go ahead.
We just don't accept the title Flat Earther for the obvious reasons. That's all.
Everybody's an
Hey,
individual, right?
It's an anti flat Earth channel.
No, it's just be yourself and talk about things. Like nobody
Yeah.
has to be in any groups or nobody has to be on any sides. Just bring an argument and defend it.
Yep. You're
Challenge yourself.
Brian. I'm SC, and that's Bev.
Bring argument instead of creating contradictory definitions like the level. Because I have a question for Rob Perks if he agrees that definition can be contradictory.
Yes, definitions can be contradictory.
Wrong.
All right.
This
Isn't
is
that
not
dialetheism?
definition.
Then,
Because
okay.
I am giving you a reason because if you have definition of triangle and you name it what it is, that has 3 sides and 3 angles, therefore you cannot say that triangle is a square. Because
Sure.
it would, yes, sure. So if we have a level being straight.
Hey, shout out Truth Nerds for €3, I guess. Thanks, man. I really appreciate it. Didn't they ban the word earther? Hypocrisy. Yeah, pretty much. I'm going to excuse myself and come back to my Discord here in a second. So let's see if I can get a word in.
Agree. You cannot call a triangle a square, but if you look at any number of words in the English language, they do have multiple definitions, and some of them are contradictory, like the word theory, for example.
Blue did say you could have a 3, 4, or 5-sided square.
When you are a scientist and you use the word theory far differently than someone who is a layperson.
Yes, but in this definition of horizontal or level, rather, is a scientific definition.
Yes, so a scientist will use the word level differently than a layperson will use the word level.
Yes, and they would use that horizontal is level, is parallel to level, not conforming to any curve.
A scientist will say that level conforms to a curve. A layperson will not.
I would say that pseudoscientist.
You mean a surveyor?
I don't know about that.
Do you mean a surveyor or a scientist? What are you talking about? Can you be a bit more specific?
I would say that anyone who deals with distances involving the curvature of the Earth, they will say that level conforms to a curve. Is not strict.
What kind of scientist would that be?
Anybody that doesn't would say that level is horizontal.
I'm sorry, Bev, what?
So that means that anybody that doesn't deal with that would say that level is horizontal, like in the state plane coordinate system that you have in America, and like for the entirety of the UK, strangely enough.
Yeah, it's also called orthographic, or no, it's let me look it up.
Orthometric is what you're trying to say.
Yeah, orthometric. Yeah.
For an example,
what is orthometric, Brian?
I can only really speak for astronomers. We have various different coordinate systems. The most basic coordinate system is the horizontal coordinate system. We assume that our local position does in fact define a horizontal plane. However, that is a simple approximation to our local environment. It is not meant to demonstrate the entirety of the
Everywhere you do surveying locally, right, which is where you set the tool up, it is always sets up a horizontal, and all of the verticals are perpendicular to that horizontal plane.
Given a certain tolerance of measurement, yes.
But I think that it is set to be horizontal, and it is understood as straight, not as curved.
If you are speaking to another layperson, yes. If you're speaking to someone who deals with large-scale geography, no. I would argue that they do not.
Orthometric claims that it's based on the geoid, but they use planar surveying methods. So it's true and it's false at the same token. Now here's where I agree with
all
Kawasaki.
surveyors
Here's where I
use
agree with
plane
Kawasaki.
surveying. All surveyors
Yeah, I
use
agree.
plane surveying.
I agree with that.
Mhm.
And here's where I agree with Kawasaki. Like, I don't think that just because we could read the numbers on the stick, or is why the level ain't accurate up to distance. I have my a reason I think a lot of people would agree with, because we could stack 1,000,000 story poles or story rods along the ground, and we could put them 10 high, just stack them on top of each other. And just because on the bottom one we can't read the number, we see that the horizontal is actually 5 complete poles high. So whether we could zero in on it or not doesn't mean that. Here's my whole point. I don't think that it's legitimate past 100 meters because of refraction, and it says because of refraction and collimation, and then it adds an earth curve. The earth curve, to me, isn't necessary, but it's the same point I was trying to make about the rainbows and the clouds. We know that the rainbow ain't arcing down in reality. It just appears to in the distance. Same thing with clouds. They're coming down to meet the ground in the distance, but that's not due to earth curve even by their own math. So it'll vary in the distance.
He just said earlier, Earth curvature is the curvature of level. So how can
Who said that? Who said that?
Blue.
Oh yeah. That's why I was trying to.
The curvature rate of air is the curvature rate of level is the curvature rate of Earth.
But that's why I was trying to ask a question to Blue. At what point does he think the water level deviates from the auto level? At what measure? Because the truth is their version of looking at Earth through auto level lies somewhere between their globe and a flat Earth. It's they have to apply 7/6. They have to flatten it out. So the truth is if they're trying to use looking off in the distance as reliable information, then they have to come up with a bullshit explanation to do it.
You just don't do it. No, nobody actually does that. Only people that imagine they can use tools beyond the working range to find something that obviously isn't there. They're the only people that do this.
That's good. You would agree that the water level will maintain a horizontal frame of reference way farther out than an auto level will, right?
Again, Biff, your tool has no specified working range. I think
I do. I have a working range.
Well, that's up to you. You can impose whatever.
Reading the story pole is the working range.
Okay.
Blue.
I don't mind that. You can make up your own definition. Make it up as you go.
You don't
That's
even
what
know how
do
to
anyway.
work the tool, so.
Yeah, right, Rob.
It seems like a very finicky working
What if
definition.
the crosshairs are above the story pole, the complete story pole? Just because you can't read it, you can see that the crosshairs are above the whole entire pole. So there's got to be an explanation, and that's refraction.
What? Well, whatever. Look, Bev, thanks again for letting me drop by today and have a chat. Since Mobius doesn't seem to want to do anything about LIGO today.
Sunday, Blue. Are we on for Sunday?
We'll do something, maybe, yeah. We'll see if I can find a time that works on Sunday.
Sounds great.
Could I get one question in before you go, Blue?
Sure.
Thanks. Can one man's horizontal be another man's vertical? Because that diagram you drew there.
That's a silly question. I'm not even going to bother.
Hey, thanks for putting up with me, Blue.
No problem, Rob.
Yeah, thanks for that.
You plead the fifth on that one, Blue?
It's a silly question, Montreal. You know how the model works. And if you don't by now, give up. You'll never know.
All right, Blue.
All right, guys. We'll see you later.
Nice to have you.
Take it easy, Blue.
Thanks, Blue.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Was that fun?
Some of it was. Oh, some of it was a bit painful.
A bit?
Well, yeah, master of the understatement. My
All right, so we'll get back to something interesting. I don't think I probably wasn't sharing my slides with over here, was I? Did Bev
You
show
weren't
them?
sharing them. They weren't showing on your stream at all. I wasn't looking at Bev's stream.
But they were, because I was watching Bev's stream, and they were showing them when you presented them. You could see them in your stream. So
Yeah, my bad.
Yeah, I had to stop streaming it anyway because Discord kept crashing. Discord crashed for me, and then Tiny Captain tried it, and I think Discord kept crashing for him as well.
Mm.
So it might not just be my PC that's causing it. It might be Discord doing it.
good old Discord always works perfectly without any problems whatsoever,
Doesn't it?
doesn't it?
Wait.
Oh no!
Oh no! Oh no!
Oh no! Who let this reprobate in? Bloody hell!
Oh fuck! It's all going to fuck now. I tell
Hey up,
ye.
hey up, wanker. How's it going?
Yeah, all right.
Cool. Not seen you for a while.
I think Bev got a little upset.
Once or twice, yeah. Yeah.
I think he got a little triggered. Correction.
Yeah.
I think you got a lot triggered.
So, I've had conflicting reports. Was that wasn't live?
Yeah,
it was.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it was.
Blue
Oh,
went
right,
over to Bev's, not his server, and joined in and had a chat with him, and we've been watching it.
Oh, can I join?
Who are you talking to?
No, the video that's playing just now, is that live or not?
Yeah, you're in it.
All right.
We were streaming Blue, who went over to Bev's Discord and was having a chat with them and winding them up. But now you're here with us.
Well, I think that's probably best.
What, you in Bev's server? Yeah, you're probably better off over here, I think.
Yeah, probably so.
That could all get a little messy.
Yes, very quickly.
Yep.
Bev didn't seem to have any answers, other than the one that I thought he would come up with, which is, but you can't see the rod. Fuck the rod. Who cares? The rod's not what I'm after.
Yeah, I mean, I know we had this conversation. Bev and his tards complete and utter lack of understanding that optical systems work with angular measurements. They don't work with distances generally as a measure of accuracy. Seems to be the big issue.
Mm.
You know, 4 seconds of arc is 4 seconds of arc. Be
That's
it
right.
2.5 millimeters at 100 meters or whatever it is, or 57 inches at 13 miles.
Doesn't matter. It's an angle.
Yeah.
It's very impervious to distance. It doesn't care.
So, Blue, you think those idiots are any wiser now?
I think they'll think twice about letting me do a presentation again.
Why this Mobius went on mute like he make like tree and leaves?
Well, I don't know. I would
Didn't
say
hear from me.
I would say that if I was Mobius right about now, I'd be shitting my pants. I don't believe the guy still wants to take me on. But if he does, come Sunday, I'm going to have even more fun.
I don't think he ever wanted to take you on. He just wanted to ask you some questions. It's Bev forcing him to debate.
Yeah. Yeah, Bev kind of threw him under the bus, didn't
he? Like he does
Yeah.
always.
Yeah. He's got no qualms about slinging people under the bus.
I got briefly quite excited earlier. I thought when you just from the title of the stream, I thought Blue Marble was coming to the UK. I was like, fucking hell.
I did come to the UK through the internet. I came to Southport. I stood behind Bev and made a fool out of him.
But since we're talking about it, when are you coming to the UK? Come on.
Oh, I'm not up for that anymore, buddy.
Blue, safe to say,
You'll have to go to him.
Like we Jews say, after the holidays.
I wish I could make that trip again. That'd be fun.
Am I actually going to have to come all the way to fucking Tennessee? Is that?
That's what it's starting to look like. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Never mind.
Group trip to Tennessee it is then.
Hey,
Makes me pass.
Everybody needs to come to Tennessee once. Anyway.
That would be fun.
Is that generally as many times as they want to do it?
Yeah, that'll probably be about it, but yeah.
Yep, that's Tennessee. Let's go.
Yeah, that's easy for you to say. So let's say I landed in New York. Which direction is that, Tennessee?
Southwest would work.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought roughly-ish.
But yeah, that would be fun actually if the UK cohort just en masse arrived at Blue's door. Like, hey, who is up? Hello. We are YouTube friends. Well, you need somewhere to stay. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was just thinking about it. Wouldn't for Tennessee, wouldn't it be better to land at DC than New York?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know if we have direct flights to DC. Maybe.
And shout out to Truth Nerds for another €5. John Blue now simply John Blue now simply distrusts the Ordnance Survey of the UK because they say level isn't horizontal. That's why he's not risking the trip.
I was really wishing when I did that super chat that when you read out my super chat, you would actually go horizontal. I know that you don't do.
We need farmers for that one, don't we?
Oh, that's nice, isn't it?
Blue, you need to be very careful with those sneaky bastards. Bev tried this, so it's horizontal, all the same elevation. He tried this stunt with me like I think 100 times.
Yeah.
I think I'll change my story.
Yeah, he does whatever he can to try to sneak one past you.
Yeah, I wonder why he needs to do his foresight and backsight at the same distance. What for? If everything is level, it makes no difference.
Why do it? Why would you want to do a foresight and backsight?
Right.
I think
Do foresight. Save
Well,
you time.
I guess collimation error would be taken care of by doing it, and that's not dependent on the curvature, but refraction and curvature, yeah, you need to wipe those out, and you do that by doing equal foresights and backsights.
Right, but if they are not equal, then
Well,
you're
if they're
not
not
level anymore.
if they're not equal, you're not doing it right.
Right. So that's the question. Why do you need to be at equal distance from your foresight and backsight? If everything is level, it makes no difference.
That's right.
No, I want to take him. I'll go there. I'll take him on his lies, because he asked the ordnance surveyors. He asked them a question. He got an answer.
Yeah, he did.
He got an answer.
Or
He
you
never.
see how triggered he got when I alluded to his Twitter exchange with those guys. He got pissed.
Right.
I mean that.
We couldn't see it. We couldn't see it.
I should have been it done when the ordnance survey responded to him. That was
yeah.
that was really damning.
And he asked, do I miss something here? So I replied to him. Hold on, I'll show you what I replied to him. Yeah, you can see it. Taking some time to find it.
Well, that was fun.
You did seem to be enjoying yourself.
I was. It's actually too damned easy.
Yeah.
What you got to do is not let Bev, and Mobius is like that too. You got to just make your mind up that you're not going to let them get under your skin. That's what they're trying to do. That's what all the over talking's about. And the little snide remarks and the jabs and stuff.
You just got to let them wash over you, haven't you?
Yeah.
If you
actually, this is off topic, but Alan Evans. I just wondered if there was another aircraft. You know, when you talked about the F-117.
Yes.
Was there any other aircraft?
Well,
no, I mean, that were difficult to track.
The 117 would have been the most challenging because it was designed to be stealthy.
Yeah.
And you have to understand that my knowledge of that is based on talking to operators, because I wasn't actually an operator. So when I was doing sort of range tests and stuff like that, I can read a display well enough that I can figure out that I'm looking at the correct aircraft.
And what?
Because I know where to expect it and when to expect it.
And what year did you stop doing that?
I was doing that. I was in the Air Force from 1st of November 1983 to the 31st of October 1992.
Right. Okay. Well, I'll leave it there, so you can talk about this stuff that you want to talk about. I'll get in touch anyway.
Yeah, no problems, John.
Brief interlude.
So I asked if he missed something, and I tell him, yes, you did. See, they say the text of myth number 2, myth 2, explain why a level surface is not with big NOT horizontal.
Yes, they had to capitalise it to draw your attention to the fact it's saying not.
Not absolutely not, you twat.
Not.
Yeah.
And ask it, did I miss something?
But you'll notice that Bev still keeps maintaining that you create your horizontal first, and therefore all verticals are perpendicular to that horizontal. Really? Has he never set an auto level up?
Do you know how you call this a line on the crosshair?
Huh?
That's what they asked me. Do you know what you call it? I don't care what you call this line.
Call it Fred.
Yeah.
Call it
As
anything
much
you
as
bloody
I
like.
care. Do you know what it is? Yes, I said I think that represents the horizontal plane. I think. I can be corrected if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
It is terribly unfortunate that in the English language we have so many words that have multiple definitions, isn't it?
Well, particularly the word level. I mean, it's got something like 7 or 8 different definitions, hasn't it?
At least.
Yeah, a complete handful. When you actually sort of go and look at the definitions of it of any of the online dictionaries, it's okay. It's a noun, several definitions. It's a verb, several definitions, and so on and so forth.
Are you on the
you
level?
can't have words with different meanings, really.
Are you on the level, Farmers?
Yeah, exactly. Are you on the level?
And I always thought you were a pretty level-headed guy. My God.
Poor old paper to sit there and go, no, you can't have one word with different definitions. Oh, really? The English language is bloody full of them.
If you're a level-headed guy, does it mean you have a stiff neck?
Yeah, that's it. and a flat top on your head.
You've got a level-headed Englishman, or like an Englishman that's on level. That's a totally different thing from a Scotsman who's on the level. That's completely different. You know, so it's just a clusterfuck.
So is the Scotsman a horizontal or not?
Oh my God,
The big question is though: is Edward Woodward on the level?
Oh well.
There's a good question from the Turtle Moves. Did Bev set O levels?
Hang on a minute. He probably would have done. Possibly, because he's a year younger than me. So, and he would have. It's either O levels or GCSEs, and he would have had to sit something like that for him to do that BTEC course.
Yeah, he would have done. I'm sure. I thought you did GCS.
No,
you did.
I did O levels, and on 2 of the exams were the experimental version of what became the GCSE. I sat O levels in '86. GCSEs came in '87, I think, '87 or '88. I think I might have been the last year to sit O level, so he might well actually have sat GCSEs.
Let me say hi to IB Hunter and J Mac and Ruhiff. What's going on, guys?
Hello.
How you doing, Ruhiff?
Morning, everyone. Yeah, good. I listened to a bit of the stream this morning. Bev's been explained this dozens of times.
Oh, yeah.
Dozens. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's intentional at this point.
Welcome to the club, Blue, because just until now, only Ruth and I could make a distance from looking at the picture, and now you did it too.
Ruhif, it's a pleasure to be in the same voice panel as you. I've followed you for a while.
Thank you.
Thanks. Just at this point, if everyone could vote whether or not they think that Bev is just taking the piss, or he actually believes it. What do you think, all of you?
Oh, he must be lying at this point. He must be.
Well, we
I've
know
had
he's
enough experience with him. Yeah.
We know he's lying because he got an answer from the ordnance surveys, and
yes,
they told him that level is not horizontal. They told him. He asked, why did he ask if he didn't want to know? So the minute the answer did not fit what he already knew, he chose to ignore it, like he never heard it, and keep repeating that his level is horizontal and ask any surveyors. That's what surveyor says. That's a lie.
But is it a lie, or
You got
is it?
the
There
answer.
has to be some willful ignorance, right? He's been explained his water test dozens of times over the last couple of years, right? He understands what the objection is, so he must be lying now. There's no other possibility.
Well, that or he's got some sort of traumatic brain injury.
Possible.
Or is he?
Well, he did have brain injury.
Is he just so steadfastly believing in his idea that he just doesn't get it, even after all this time?
Yeah, I think the question is, what's the underlying thing driving him? I don't know. I can't tell. I don't know if it's a religious thing or what it is.
It's fucking weird.
No, I don't think he's religious at all.
Yeah, I never got that impression from what he said.
It may be different than that. Like I think I mentioned before, I chatted with somebody who they were saying that binoculars can only focus to 6 miles. So I asked them how far the moon was, and they said 3,000 miles above the planet, above the ground. And I said, and binoculars can focus on the moon, so they can focus more than 6 miles. And they said, no, they can't focus more than 6 miles. So we went around again. It's like, can your binoculars focus on the moon? Yes. How far is the moon? 3,000 miles. So the binoculars can focus more than 6 miles. No, they could only focus 6 miles. They could not see that. We went around for days on that, and they could not see the inconsistency in there. It didn't matter how well I explained it, they just couldn't see it. It may be something similar to that.
Well, Bev actually has a very good explanation for it. Let me find it.
When it must be like 2 years since Bev came up with this idea of his experiment, and I talked to him at length and explained what I tried to explain to him why it wouldn't work, and I think he genuinely just didn't get it. There's some kind of mental block.
Bev explained
Maybe 2 years ago.
Bev explained
makes sense
it.
now.
That's what he says, that you get to a point that your brain don't let you see it. You just don't see that's what happens to him. But his explanation is very accurate.
His reasoning escapes me many times. Just like today, him trying to say, well, but we weren't there to look at the tower. We were only there to look at the rod.
Yeah, I told him.
Wait a minute. The tower's in the damn picture. I can see the tower. What do you mean? Okay, you know, you and the rod are there too. Great, got it. That doesn't stop me from looking at the tower. It's almost like if a red light camera, you run a red light and the camera takes a picture of your tag, but at the same time it captures the picture of an arm of a dead body hanging out of your fucking trunk. Are you telling me that they won't allow that as evidence that you had something to do with a murder just because the
Right.
camera wasn't trying to take a picture of a dead body?
I,
What the
I,
fuck
I
is
said
wrong
the
with you?
same. I said the same, only with a selfie. If you took a selfie and you caught a murder in your selfie, does it matter that you only took a selfie? The court would not accept this as evidence?
Of course not. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely preposterous that the guy thinks like that. But I don't think he really, I can't believe he really does. I think that's just got to be nothing but Bev trying, caught in the corner trying to figure out some way out.
So he said that he travelled all the way to wherever that was with a mate or whatever he has in place of friends, and an auto level, and a camera, and a surveying rod, and went out onto the beach way down below the high tide line, and set up the auto level and the camera, and went out and held the surveying rod in the air for someone to take a picture, just to get a picture of a surveying rod?
Well, he did it at different distances. He started from 20 feet, I think, and gradually he went to longer distances. But what do I care? He did the optical test. It was excellent. We could see all the way to Blackpool Tower.
Yeah, he just happened to do all this in line with Blackpool Tower. That's just a coincidence, you know. He could have they could have gone anywhere across that beach, but they just happened to do it in front of Blackpool Tower.
Well, I suppose
Blackpool what? Oh, is that what that thing is?
Oh,
I
what?
thought that
Oh,
was
we
an
didn't know.
electricity
We didn't even
pylon.
notice it. Oh no, we weren't really concentrating on that. Didn't know it was there.
Oh, wait. The good thing, his excuse is he did it because he knew he would trigger Globers.
He didn't trigger me. He delighted me.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
I mean,
Thank you so much, Bev. Please do it again.
Thanks, Bev.
I can understand going to the beach and sighting along the length of the beach, because then that way you're not going to be dropping in elevation as you the level, are you?
Mm.
You know, your elevation is going to remain the same,
I-
or roughly the same.
I didn't want to force any model on Bev, so I let him choose. Either he can set up an auto level, or he can find another excuse for the reason he's pointing out.
I notice what he still hasn't done is take that auto level up onto the top of Whernside or Kenneth Llewellyn or Scarfell or something like that. You know, well
It
clear
did.
of that knee-deep refractive layer over the sea.
He did.
He did what?
He took it up a hill, and guess what? He also point up in the sky.
Oh, that's right. And then you got somebody else to take the photo, so he can say, "Oh, I didn't take that photo."
Oh yeah, that was DP in France.
Yeah.
I made a
Yeah,
video
it
on
wasn't
that
Bev.
observation as well.
Oh yeah, it's true. But
Yeah,
yes,
that's
nothing he presents he's actually done himself. He
Well-
doesn't operate the auto level. He doesn't take photographs.
No, what Blue presented today, he can't deny it's him. And Page on his services, he didn't set the auto level. He stops her. He says, "Yes, I did. So you didn't set it up correctly. What can I tell you?"
Yeah, the one I want to trick him into doing, if that's the right phrase, would be I think it's kind of equivalent to Scarfell or Scarfell Pike, one of the two. And there's some little thing on one of the shoulders of like Dowcrag and the Old Man of Coniston, that cluster, to Whernside. And there's something in Wales which is the same height as Whernside and that particular little bump in the Lake District. And they all have clear lines of sight to each other. So you should be able to get the auto level image from each of those peaks to each of the other two in the triangle. And it'll be below eye level, both ways on all three sides. But obviously he knows that this would be globe evidence, and this is why he consistently refuses to do it.
That's why he went down to the Bedford level and he took photos, or somebody else took photos through the auto level. He took them at all sorts of distances, but not to the bridge at the other end. There's a very good reason for that. Because the crosshairs will show you the height difference between the bridge you're stood on and the bridge at the other end due to the drop.
Well, all I saw is pictures of the sign near the bridge and the water.
Yeah. He took photos. They also took photos, a fair length along the drain. But what he didn't do, and I know on that day you could see it, what he didn't do was take photos from one bridge to the other. Because when it's clear enough and you look through an auto level from one bridge to the other, you can see there's a bit of a difference. Because those bridges aren't pretty much at the same height either end. But when you view one bridge and you're looking 6 miles at the other bridge, they don't look the same.
Well, we have
I know because I've done that.
We have the picture of the Isle of Man, and I have 1,200 feet elevations. The top one is the auto level of the observer, and three ones below it. Thanks to FE Dogma, we found out the details of the wind farm. So we have 3 different elevations at 1,200 feet at the tower, at the turbine, and at the mountain. The distance, which is a question mark, because I don't know if we see the whole mountain or if it's partially, then it's even lower. Are they all on the same plane? I don't think so.
I have calculated that view. If I calculated the view from the spot on Winter Hill that they were supposed to use, there's no guarantee, and they used it. There's no guarantee that either of us got it right. Then I have a calculated drawing of what it would look like, flat globe with refraction. And I have the same thing for, there's a brief moment in a Mr. Sensible holiday video from Westwood Ho. He was stood on the beach at Westwood Ho looking out to the west, well, with the camera facing out to the west across the sea. You could see the Isle of Lundy. So I plotted the coastline and the skyline of the Isle of Lundy. But I also did the coastline and some contour lines in Ireland, and then the coastline of a couple of French islands and Canadian islands, and then of the Canadian mainland, and then the positions of a couple of American cities, and then the coastline of the Gulf of Mexico. And the funny thing is, on the flat plot, that I think it's called Carantoo Hill, pretty high hill in the southern end of Ireland near Cork, would be very visible. It's well above the horizon, well, it's above eye level, and it's not there in the photographs. It's just completely not there to be seen.
Well, there's the thing.
You shouldn't be looking that far.
Well, not from sea level, you shouldn't.
You know, a thing that I wanted to ask was, you see this guy, Jay Tolan?
Oh yeah.
Right. I thought that he was a troll. I thought that he was a glober just taking the piss. As in, well, for Yanks making fun, taking the piss, making fun of the flat Earth. But I watched a Simon Dan video recently where he was looking at the on the level film.
Yes.
And he is actually a genuine flat earther, isn't he?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Deluded.
Yes.
He is. I mean, it's one of the first things that kind of drew me into all of this. I mean, if you image in infrared, like he's been doing, you don't see anything new. The only thing that viewing in infrared does is give you, perhaps under the right conditions, a clearer view.
Yeah, it reduces scattering.
Yeah, and that's it.
Yeah, I mean, there's
But the stuff that he was saying, I thought I really did. I thought that he was just like joking. It was so ridiculous.
No, refraction's a
the
little
problem is
different.
there's not. Yeah, but I mean, there's not really that much difference in the way.
Yeah, it's hardly anything.
Of the IR that you're going to get in a IR converted.
No, it's just. I mean, it's like just off the red. You know, so fuck. I've got a converted camera. I've got a converted Canon 6D, and I've got 3 or 4 cameras that are just wide open. They don't have any filters anyway, and you just don't see anything more. You don't see anything that's invisible.
You actually see a little bit less.
Sorry?
You actually see a little bit less, like a tiny little bit less curvature. Like infrared refracts a tiny little bit less.
A little less, not a lot, but a little bit.
Well, I mean, the famous thing that J Tone talks about is being able to see mountains like hundreds of miles away that he shouldn't be able to see, and he's clearly misidentified the fucking mountains.
Yes, I know.
So,
yeah.
And he's trying to sort of make out that infrared is some kind of magic fucking thing that allows you to see extra far. It's just shite, total shite.
I mean, if you really want to change the amount of refraction,
Hang on, your audio went shit there.
I was going to say, if you really want to change the amount of refraction you're going to see, you need to move. You need to not be moving from 500 nanometers to 700 nanometers. You need to be moving from nanometers to decimeters in your way.
Yeah, you got to go into radio, basically. Yeah.
I got thrown out of Bev's. Can I hang out here?
Sure.
Oh,
Bev threw me out for trying to bring up subject matter. He said it was out of line. He said, totally out of line. That's what he said.
Be nice, Dan. Bev's had a rough day.
You were nice by leaving. You could have really I mean, you're a nice guy. I'm just gonna say that you're a nice guy. I may disagree with you a lot, but you're never an asshole about it. You really aren't. Even when you're mad, you know, which you really don't let it get to you that way. I commend you on that.
Yeah, I
Wish
try
I was,
not to. Yeah.
wish I was that good. Why do you hang out with so many dumb fucks, then? Like
what?
I mean, doesn't it hurt to have to dumb yourself down all the time? I have to smoke a lot of weed to get dumb enough to talk to everyone.
Now, Dan, come on. Be
It's
nice.
It's an honest question.
For God's sakes, be nice.
It's honest.
I'm gonna fucking get in my canoe, Blue. I shit you not.
Oh boy. Well, that was a little fun.
That was good. I mean, that's the most fun they have ever. Bringing other people around. What a fucking circle jerk.
And I thought Bev was going to strangle Brian Leakey.
Someone should.
I posted these pictures. That's why I got thrown out, because I've been trying to figure out where the sun sets. So I see this one. It says 50 miles away, and here's another one 30 miles away. So I asked Brian about it, and Bev threw me out for having a private conversation with Brian, who I've never been able to talk to one-on-one because both of us yell too much. So anyway, I thought these were cool. I found some other ones of the Statue of Liberty, which was fun because it's so iconic. So it's fun.
So what do you think the photographs represent?
I think they give me an opportunity to know that the sun is beyond these distances. Therefore, that I am seeing a vanishing point, where the sun goes into the water, which mathematically should be the same point that my boat disappears mathematically. Yet here it is at a greater distance than expected on a globe. Here's the sunset at a greater distance than expected on the globe. And even the idea of expecting the sunrise and sunset didn't really cross our minds before, how close it has to be, observationally speaking.
And what do you think about the fact that if you're on a completely flat surface, that something can't actually recede and go down? I mean, what's your?
What do you mean the way things change in angular size in the distance, depending on your angle, it shrinks to nothing? Is that what you're saying?
It doesn't really matter. I mean, like if you're on a completely flat plane, something should never ever go below the horizon. I mean, what do you think?
Oh, I
about
see
that?
what you're saying. Yeah, it's an apparent horizon. I'm looking for the physical horizon and don't find it. The apparent horizon's a limitation to your eyes, your angle, and your conditions.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, mathematically, the thing should be at 7 miles everywhere. Done. Can't see shit past there. Done. Nothing to talk about. But you and I know we argue for 4 years because I can see stuff past 4 miles, past 5 miles, past 6 miles, past 10 miles. So that's the problem. What the fuck am I seeing? That's a big issue.
I just don't get that the sort of flat Earth kind of idea is that somehow something can disappear just because it gets close to the horizon.
Well, they shrink in height. It'll shrink in size. You won't be able to see it anyway. You can't make it out. You can't make it out.
No, but I mean, like think about like when you see a a jet, a passenger jet, in the sky, and we can't. There's absolutely no way that we can make out, resolve the lights, the actual lights of a passenger jet, but we can still see them. And similarly, like take like a big cargo ship, the lights from that, we can't resolve them with our eye or our camera, but we can see them from miles and miles and miles away. So if you've got a, remember that cargo ship that got stuck in the canal a few months ago.
Evergreen or whatever the fuck, yeah.
Evergreen, yeah. So if that was sailing away, I worked this out. If that was sailing away from us, we should be able to see it for like well over 100 miles. So,
are you saying that your expectation is to see something on the water at 100 miles, and you're looking for what tools, or what are you asking?
Well, if conditions are optimal, you could see a ship like that for well over 100 miles.
That's my contention as well.
So why can't we?
The globe model says the globe model says that I could not obtain actual line of sight without the bending of light up and over the globe. In all of my experience, I did not experience any of those curves in any variation.
What do you mean when you say that?
Well, for instance, in chat, I put a picture of a 27-mile observation where it's visible in the daylight, the shore on the other side, and we're doing the experiment at night with a laser, yet the same shoreline is visible. I don't believe it's refracting towards me. I believe I'm seeing the shoreline across the lake.
Why do you dismiss refraction? You just said you don't believe it. Like, why?
Because of my ability to do it at different distances in different weather conditions. And so by doing the actual, by the way, by doing actual science stuff.
Do you deny that light bends through a density gradient?
I deny that it affected these observations.
Why? Do you deny that there was a density gradient?
Because of the low temperature gradient between the air and the water.
Right, but there's still a pressure gradient. So why do you deny the pressure gradient? Yeah.
Well, I don't know what you mean about a pressure gradient, because you can stretch it all you want, but I can see my friends over there. You can see it in this picture. You can pretend there's curvature, but it only led me to want to see this thing from the lateral position, from the side. If that laser at 27 miles is straight from the left to the right, it will appear straight.
And you seem to be denying. Yeah, you go, bro.
Well, I'm just saying we can talk about it all we want, but it's going to be visually apparent if we change our viewer position. If we change the viewer position, you will see the curvature of the Earth, because we have lit the lateral line. We have forced the light across that line.
Okay. Now the problem that I've got with what you're describing is that you're using a laser, right? And a laser is subject to refraction.
Absolutely. So why don't we visualize that instead of conceptualize that?
Hang on.
Okay, so these guys are going to get into a discussion about refraction and stuff. And the stream's been going for 3 hours or so now. And I think it's about time for me to go find something to eat and call it a day. Hey, thanks everybody for showing up. I appreciate it very, very much. Maybe Sunday we'll do this again. Mobius wants to talk about LIGO, so we'll see if that happens or not. If it does, you're all invited. And with that, have a great Friday evening and a wonderful Saturday. And be sure to root for whatever your favorite football team is. There'll be some people playing tomorrow. All right, guys. You guys take care. See you later.